Spring is in the air.
Did you ever schedule the seasonal maintenance for our heating and air conditioning system?
Whoa, me? I thought you did that.
Your local Bryant contractor is your trusted partner for top-notch service and ensuring your air conditioning system is in peak condition before the summer heat sets in. Whether you need a new system or just seasonal maintenance, visit nopaybryant.com to find a local...
Good morning, everybody. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. And we had a ball game last night. It didn't work out too well for the Phils. You know, somewhere along the line, Mick Abel had to hit a level. You know, he couldn't expect that he was going to keep doing this. And he gave up some bombs last night. His command just was not the same. But what a situation. What an up-and-down game last night. It was pretty entertaining if you were there. The thing about Abel is I don't know what it does now to his trade value. Did it kind of crush his trade value now that they saw him come back down to earth, or is it going to be the same desire to trade him now that Nola is undergoing some health situations? So I don't know where they turn with Mick Abel, but last night's game, Dansby Swanson, second inning, bam, gone. In the bottom of the inning, Kepi gets a fly ball home run to put the Phillies back in the lead. Third inning, bam, man, that thing was crushed. And then in the fourth inning, Bush with another bam shot, and that put the Cubs up. In the bottom of the fifth, Bohm gets a two-run single. The Phils are up 4-3. Top of the sixth, happy again. Happy. Two-run bomb. It's 5-4. Walker was in at the time, and then it just got out of control. McGuire's double off the wall, 6-4. Hernandez in, single. Tucker, 7-4. Suzuki, single, 8-4. It got out of hand at the end. So, I don't know. I don't know what to make of last night's game. They go right at it again in an afternoon game, getaway game for the Cubbies. So we'll have to look at this a little closer today and see if Jesus Luzardo can come back. And now that we know he was tipping pitches, whether he can solve that problem. And the Cubs are good, man. I didn't realize how good the Cubs are. They put together a really good team. You know, they got a good manager. They did it the right way. They've got some young sluggers in that lineup. It's funny. During the season, when I saw the Houston Rockets during the NBA season, I said I would trade places with the Houston Rockets right now. And that's when the Sixers were still, not the dreck that we saw that the Sixers would turn out to be. The Cubs have that kind of Houston Rockets vibe for me. Ray Dunn is with us today. Hello, Ray.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Are the Cubs a World Series contender?
I stop a little short of that right now.
Okay.
I think they're a team that's overachieving to what they are, and I think if you asked anyone in that organization coming into the year what they thought they were, they probably thought they were the team that could win the NL Central and that they could compete at that level. I just don't know if I see them in the viable terms of what the Mets and the Dodgers are. I think similar to that Rockets team, they have a strong regular season in front of them.
Yeah.
And then when it comes time for the end, I'm not so sure I'm going to pick them to be the one that makes it out of their league.
No, they're growing. They're a growing squad.
Yeah, I mean, you like what you see, like Pete Crow Armstrong, what they've got in terms of development from him has been good. If they're able to lock up Tucker long term, that's something that I think they would feel promising about. And they've gotten, look yesterday at their bullpen against the Phillies. They throw 5 different guys out there over almost 5 innings of work, and they allow, 4 base runners, 3 hits and a walk?
Let me ask you this question. I'll ask the same question that I asked people way back when about the Houston Rockets and the Sixers. Would you trade the Phillies right now for the Cubs?
I mean, it's pretty easy right now to say yes, given the success they've had to start the season. I think they also have a contract that's short that maybe that their fan base isn't in love with. I think that when you look at what they've got, some of these players that have performed above what they've been, are they due for regression at some point? Is there due for a little come down to earth for what they have? Mm-hmm. I think if I answer that question, yes, it shows you more my frustration of anything with the Phillies than it is with the success of the Cubs.
Okay. So what is your frustration now after last night's game?
I mean, the bullpen.
The obvious?
The obvious. It's just the low-hanging fruit here, but we talked about it, what was it, last week we did the whole, are we serious with this Taijuan Walker high-leverage stuff? And
listen.
Are we serious with this high-leverage Taijuan Walker stuff? They're up by a run, he comes in, this stuff doesn't take an uptick, he gives up a home run. I know, we're just guys with microphones in front of us, and they're baseball people that are paid by the organization, but we could see this.
I'm tired of reiterating stuff that I see that they don't see. I really am. I don't have any reaction anymore. What they didn't see at the beginning of the year, where the weaknesses were, what they don't see here. Taijuan Walker could be in a high leverage situation. All right, whatever, man. Tell us what you need to tell us, because I'm not buying it. I don't buy it. But all right. Last night they had won a game. They split. So now we'll see whether they can win this series at home. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say about this team. I'm totally perplexed about what they are, what they're going to be, come playoff time, what kind of moves they can make possibly to improve this team. So, I don't know. The only thing I looked at last night was Mick Abel and whether he was going to be able to keep it going. He wriggled out of a couple jams, but his pitch count got really high early. He was averaging 20 pitches an inning. There. And then in the fourth, they even had more than that. 89 pitches in 4 innings. That's not going to work. He just didn't have his command, and he walked 3 guys after not walking a guy this year. So, I don't know. I hope this is not a downturn for the kid where he now loses his confidence to pitch at this level.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna. I mean, I don't know. I don't know him personally. I know that last year that was a problem with him. With mentally, he wasn't there. It does seem like his success early on in the year in the minor leagues, and then coming up here, he's more composed than he was at a younger age. So we'll see if that plays anything to it. I know you asked the question earlier about his trade value, and I don't think this hurts it tremendously. But I'm now curious, given the news that we got before the game yesterday about Aaron Nola and the fact that the ankle's now seemingly fine, but we have a stress reaction in his ribs. That's
not good.
Yeah, is Abel now essential to your plans for the rest of the season to the point where you wouldn't go out and make that move? I know we had that conversation before, and that was when we thought Nola was coming back. But if he's going to be out post All-Star break, you need people to start these games. And apparently Taijuan Walker's a bullpen guy now, so you can't just throw him right back into the rotation.
You're right about that, but don't forget that Painter is going to come up in July. So
well, Painter last night did not look good at Lehigh Valley. It's been a tough couple of starts for him.
He's had a couple of tough starts, but they feel confident that he's going to be a guy that can join the rotation. So I mean, I don't know what to think. Hey, this is up to the people that were there last night. It was a fun game to be at.
Oh, early on, it was a great back and
Yeah,
forth.
it was a great back and forth. And then, of course, on the broadcast, they had the team out there in right center field broadcasting that game yesterday. How did you like that?
I didn't get to watch much of the broadcast. I got to see it up on the TV above where we were sitting.
You were at the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You were at the game.
So I like it. I mean, I like for them to get out and stretch the legs every once in a while and get to do something a little bit different, do it within the crowd.
I wonder how many people like that. It's different. It's really. I thought McCarthy did an unbelievable job. It's with all that mayhem going on. It's tough to stay focused to broadcast the game. I mean, he's got this guest coming in. He's got the fanatic messing around. He's got people rolling out a banner, like all that stuff. He has to, and he's got 3 analysts there.
I think it's always shows his best when they have stuff like this, like alumni weekend when they do that like doorbell and someone else is walking into the booth and he's got to focus on the fact the game's happening. And he's got 2 different players that are catching up on the air together and has to keep them on with what's happening with the game. I think that's always when he's at his best, trying to kind of herd the ensemble back towards the game.
I had this for you. I don't know how people liked it. I would love to hear your thoughts on that broadcast and how they did it last night, and whether you think it's necessary or not. But I had the sound down. I was doing something, and I look up, and there's Jason Kelce, and I go, not again. Really, that was my reaction to it last night. Not again. Like I didn't even care what he had to say. What is wrong with me?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with you on this one. I thought we hit like the peak, like the apex of Kelce.
Yeah,
I guess like he was oversaturated during the football season. I think I've had enough time away from Kelce where I don't.
You want to hear him again? You're okay with it?
Yeah, I'm fine. He shows up at a baseball game in the Croc jersey. Oh, that's nice, fun for him. Good for him. You enjoy. You go chug a garage beer and enjoy the Phillies game. I'm happy for you.
I looked up. I went, no, please. I don't know. Do people have that reaction when they see Jason Kelce anymore?
I thought it was during the football season people started to have that reaction. I think enough time has passed for me where it's like, oh, cool.
Really?
What's Kelce up to?
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is General Knowledge Wednesday, folks, and we have a tremendous prize today for all you Dave Matthews heads. 2 tickets to see Dave Matthews at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion on Friday, July 25th. Limited tickets go on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com, but we are giving a pair of tickets today. On the other side, we will give you the topics. It is Ray versus the audience on General Knowledge Wednesday. We'll also get into some Eagles topics. Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon Barkley chatted it up yesterday at the mandatory minicamp showing. The Mike Missanelli Show, it's right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo.
10:15, Mike Missanelli Show. All right, it's Ray versus the audience today, and unfortunately for Ray, one of the categories today is movie characters. So the audience has an edge right away going in the quest to win a pair of tickets to see a Dave Matthews Band at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. It's funny how they're at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, right? I remember when they sold out Veterans Stadium. I think it was 3 nights in a row.
Wow.
60,000 plus people at Veterans Stadium. So how long ago would that have been? When did the vet get smashed up? 2002?
2000.
So this had to be
3 or 4, yeah.
This had to be somewhere in the 98 area, 1998, where they sold out Veterans Stadium.
90.
When was that? You checking that out?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. 3 days.
It was
looking like 99.
Was 99? Was it 3 days or 2 days?
I see that they were there they were May 20th, 99, May 22nd. I'm trying to find the 21st.
There were so many. Like, I wasn't that big of a Dave Matthews fan. I went out of curiosity. And I go, what is this phenomenon that is the Dave Matthews Band? And at Veterans Stadium, it was horrible. It was a horrible sound concert. They were like so remote and into that big cavernous bowl. But 60,000 people showed up every concert, which I find to this day mind-boggling.
1999. May 20th, May 21st, May 22nd. 1999,
That's unbelievable.
Veterans Stadium.
There you go. 3 straight sellouts of 60. I think it was like 62,000 people.
Taylor Swift level. So I think she did 3 nights at the Link.
Think about that. Now they're at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice spot.
Yeah.
I enjoy it over there.
You can't maintain that feverish pitch there. When you're hot, man.
That's why you got to go out on the road.
They were different. It's like when they had like 10-piece band, like the whole bit. I never really got into them that much, but I know a lot of people love them.
Yeah, I've heard it's an incredible time. I've never been.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe I'll try and win these tickets and take them away.
Maybe you can win it. And so it's movie characters, it's general knowledge, and it's players who played or did not play with LeBron James.
Oh.
I'm going to give you the name of a player. You'll have to tell me whether that player did indeed play with LeBron James.
All right.
All right?
I like this challenge.
Okay.
Those early Cavs players are going to kill me.
All right, some Phillies news, Ray. You want to break the news to the people?
Should we play the sounder for this one?
Play the sounder.
Now, breaking sports news from 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Folks, you got to go put that Carlos Hernandez jersey back in the closet. He was designated for assignment, and the Phillies have recalled Michael Mercado as the bullpen shuffling continues.
He didn't fare very well getting out of an inning.
No.
No, he didn't. Now, let me just say this. I find it hard to believe that a guy with that kind of velocity cannot be successful. And I look at the guy and I go, first of all, he's out of shape. He needs to lose a few lbs. Second of all, how long have you been in baseball? You throw 98 to 100, and you have never learned location. But I do not understand that if you are gifted with that kind of velocity, how you can't be successful.
It's truly incredible. Really incredible.
It is. It's how many years has he been in baseball?
At this point,
a lot of years, right?
Number of years.
98 to 100, you're going to get a shot to play with teams. To be successful, just do not throw the ball down the middle of the plate. Like that's really the key to your success. Snap off a good slider every now and then that has the mile per hour change on it, and throw heat and locate.
And this is year number 6 for him in the bigs. You have to figure out how to get that to work.
Well, he's not. He's gone. Now, who have the Phillies called up?
Michael Mercado.
Oh, no. Michael Mercado. Double M is back.
Woo.
What kind of year has he been having?
Very, very encouraging, of course, because they wouldn't call him up otherwise. When you look at what he's done down there at AAA, he's pitched to a 5.31 ERA in 17 appearances. His whip is over 1.6.
Think about this. That's the best they have. That's the best they have to promote somebody. Seriously,
So-
the Max Lazars, the Michael Mercados. Are you serious, Dave?
I was a little intrigued over the weekend, and this may be a little too deep into the weeds here, but they bring up Seth Johnson, another one of these guys that throws
100.
very hard,
Yeah.
and they're still trying to figure out what he is as a pitcher.
Yeah.
And immediately he goes back down.
Right.
And now they got to wait the amount of time to get him back up into the big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
What was going to change with the Carlos Hernandez experience after that justified him having a roster spot? I thought at that point we had kind of known who he was, and it would have
So
been
you
time
would
to
have
move on.
released Carlos Hernandez and kept Johnson up.
Just because we got to see what they have in the organization. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
Seth Johnson's coming up here and he's Mariano Rivera, but if he's coming up here and he's better than Carlos Hernandez, then we have a little bit more of a solution. I was curious why he ended up being the one that went back.
That's actually a good pull. Why did it take one more outing for them to make a decision on him?
And I think I made the joke to you after, Monday night? Well, when we saw Hernandez in extras Monday night. Then I thought the way that was going when he threw that pitch to Pete Crow Armstrong and they ended up going ahead, I was like, well, I was playing this drop pretty much in my head.
Oh, won't see him no more.
When that inning started for Carlos Hernandez, and I was like, that would be the end of his Phillies tenure.
Yeah.
He got exactly 24 more hours. Congratulations to him.
We're
on that
going to
one.
have a topic a little later in the show about baseball players and baseball in general, and how there's this fantastic story about how baseball players lament the fact that people don't realize how difficult it is, how difficult their life is. That's kind of a little, and which I find like unbelievably preposterous.
I thought it would be something you would
Yeah,
enjoy.
I love that. I'm going to sink my teeth into this. And listen, you really want to listen to this because the everyman, which is most of our listeners, has to listen to baseball players to try to explain how difficult it is to their whole lifestyle and how they have to perform and the travel and the time limits and all that kind of stuff. And I go, really? Come on, man. Listen, I know about baseball. I know it's a difficult game to perform, but don't give me the lifestyle. All right, 610-632-0975 is how you get into the show. Text board is open. It's the Mike Missanelli Show back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Cubs beat the Phillies. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Cubs beat the Phils 8-4 last night. Mick Abel allowed 3 homers, struggled with his command, and only lasted 4 innings in his third start as a Philly. Taijuan Walker gave up the go-ahead home run in the loss. The Phillies offense only mustered up 3 hits against the 5 relievers that they saw in the game. Max Kepler did homer in the loss, but there's been a significant power outage for this Phillies team, and Rob Thompson talked about it postgame.
Yeah, a lot of singles. Yeah, I think it'll come. I think we're just going through a stretch where we're not getting the ball in the air. We're not hitting the gaps. It'll come. There's more power in this lineup than what we're showing right now.
In other Phillies news, Brandon Marsh left the game with elbow soreness, and Aaron Nola suffered a setback in his plans to return from the injured list. He now may be out beyond the All-Star game. The Phillies will look to win the series this afternoon against the Cubs at 1:05, sending Jesus Luzardo to the mound against Ben Brown. The Eagles had their sole mandatory minicamp practice yesterday, now dispersed until training camp. They will report to training camp July 22nd, so we will not hear from the Birds for quite a while here, and then we'll gear up for the regular season. This update is brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. We all play a role in keeping the roads safe. Watch for pedestrians. Give 4 feet when passing and slow down. Let's look out for each other. Safety is shared. Brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA Finals action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Game it comes. Series is split. Decisive third game is today. Luzardo on the hill for the Phillies. The rotation right now goes Wheeler, Luzardo, Suarez, Sanchez, Abel. Two of them are shaky right now. Abel last night was shaky. Luzardo has been shaky the last two outings. We'll see if he can pop it through. And, of course, the bullpen has changed a little bit. Carlos Hernandez DFA'd. Michael Mercado is up. I don't know. Mr. Dombrowski, it's your move. Let's get to the phones. We got John checking in here. John from Ewing. John, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, buddy? Hello, John.
Mike.
How
Mike,
are
can
you?
you hear me?
I got you. Go ahead.
I'm good. All right. I respect your opinion on baseball, and I know we had some struggles in the bullpen, so I'm just curious if this is a potential solution. We have three workhorses that are potentially super strong and can get you through 7 innings. We got Wheeler, Sanchez, and hopefully Luzardo gets back on track.
Mm-hmm.
Why not, with the other pitchers that are potentially only giving you 4 or 5 innings, why not the fourth starter be maybe, Mick Abel for 4 innings and then put Ranger Suarez for the last 5? And the same thing for your 5th starter. What's the downside there?
Well, you want to rest. The starters are bred like racehorses. A lot. They're bred to be starting pitchers with regular rest. So that would throw that completely off.
Rest, wouldn't you? If Ranger Suarez is pitching,
well, you're using 2 as a 4th starter.
Yeah, and you still have your bullpen to do 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, what I'm saying,
you're not using your bullpen at all in 4 and 5.
You've reduced your rotation to 4, though.
Well, in the 5th starter, you still have Nola, which hopefully gets better. You have Taijuan Walker, who can only give you 4 or 5 anyway, and you have Andrew Painter coming.
Yeah, but they've already shifted Taijuan Walker to a relief spot, so a high leverage spot, not a 4-inning spot. I don't know. When you mess with it, when you mess with a rotation like that, it never works out. These guys are on routines.
It's not working out now, is it?
Well, their starters are still working out. Like, why would you change their starting rotation right now?
I just feel like Ranger Suarez is pretty versatile, and the other guys are young enough where you can still stretch them out starting start of the game.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I think starting pitchers have to have a routine, and they're used to. And when you mess with them, it messes up their biorhythms. But it's a good suggestion, John.
All right, fair enough.
All right, John. You want a general knowledge question? You Dave Matthews fan? Okay.
Huge Dave Matthews fan. I've been to over 60 concerts.
Who, according to Shakespeare, wait, you've seen more than 60 concerts?
Yeah.
Dave Matthews concerts?
Yes, sir.
Jeez. That's just like Bruce Springsteen-esque for some people. All right.
I'm a huge fan. I travel for him.
Wow. According to Shakespeare, who said, quote, "I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him"?
That's a good question.
I'll give you a hint. He hooked up with Cleopatra.
Mark Antony.
That's correct. Hold on a second. Mark Antony is correct. All right, there you go. Right? Did you know that?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him?
I had no idea. Would have been Brutus? Was that the best guess I could have thrown at you?
Brutus?
El Tu Brute or whatever.
Et tu Brute.
Yeah.
He joined in on the massacre.
Yeah. That would have been the only guess because that's the one line I know.
Oh, well, when was he killed, Caesar? What was the day?
Oh, crap.
You know this, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, this isn't my question, but I'll give myself the buzzer anyway on this one.
The Ides of March.
That's what it is, the Ides of March. Yeah. Well, this is going to be a good general knowledge Wednesday. I'm off to a hot start here.
But listen, there's a lot of easier questions in that one.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's random.
Yeah.
You get an easy question. I gave him a challenge. Well, my man has seen Dave Matthews, 60-plus times.
I think we've talked about this before. You don't.
I'm out when it comes to that.
Yeah, you don't repeat concerts.
I do not repeat. No, I have repeated a couple of concerts. Like the National, I've repeated.
How many times have you seen the National?
4.
4. What's the most you think you would see someone before you're like, all right, I've seen it enough?
Yeah, that's I don't like enough bands to want to see them a lot. Like the National changes it up a lot. Like they play a lot of different songs. A lot of people don't know they've been around for like 25 years. So that's why I can see them a lot.
Would you like?
But like I've seen U2 once. I'm done with that. Well, all right, I got my U2 fix. Like all these cult bands that like a lot of people go every time they're around.
Would you go to multiple shows on one tour?
No.
Interesting.
I would not. I've seen Springsteen, like 5 times, but I've been pulled into that. Like wasn't my choice. They go, it's been suggested, somebody had a ticket, whatever.
Well, yeah, I think working in this specific industry, you're more than likely not to be pulled into a Springsteen concert.
Right. But again, I used to be in rock radio.
Right.
So I had a small stint in rock radio, so we had access to Springsteen
well, you
concerts.
tickets.
Now, I've seen Pearl Jam twice, and that would be enough for me. I can't. You throw out a band, and I'll tell you whether they're multi-worthy.
Well, here's someone I've seen multiple times. Billy Joel.
Billy Joel, you've seen multiple times.
Multiple times. Twice.
Interesting.
Once at Citizens Bank Park, once at Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden was great. They're not the
I can
Citizens Bank Park
imagine that was a great concert.
But yeah, they kind of perfected that show after a long time doing it there. Let's see, another band for you. Guns N' Roses.
You've seen them a lot?
No, I'm asking you. Multiple.
No, I don't think I've even seen them once.
Wow. All right.
I'm not a Guns fan. I mean, they have their place in rock, and I don't dislike them. But it's not like I got to go see Guns N' Roses.
All right. Let me see. Let me get to the different songs we got for you coming back from break. Grimes.
Grimes? No, I wouldn't see Grimes.
I'm just going through the list of songs we got on your playlist.
No, I wouldn't see Grimes. Grimes has a couple of songs, and we play them, but I wouldn't see her in a concert. I have no interest in that.
Let's see. What other bands we got on your?
This is my list from my list.
Yeah, this is from the.
Okay.
This is from here. Wait, give me 1 second, because I can't see all the info on these things.
See, all these songs I give you are random songs that I catch. Like every now and then, and I like, but it's not like a body of work that I would want to go see.
Got it. So this is not your this is not your Spotify playlist. You're telling me this is the.
No, this is not like this is a song that I think works for this particular show.
Makes sense.
But like the body of work for all these bands that I play is not deep enough to to go see them.
Yeah. Well, when you gave me Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, I kind of figured that wasn't like the top of the playlist that you were bumping. That you just. Thought that was a nice good song.
Sabrina Carpenter, I would not. That would not be a concert I would go see.
I would go see that concert.
You would?
Yeah, on the record, I would definitely go see that.
Yeah, see, I'm an older guy now. Me going to Sabrina Carpenter concert would make me look like an idiot, I think. Don't you think?
I mean, it could also make me look like an idiot, but I'd be happy to go.
No, you're a young guy. It wouldn't make you look like an idiot. It's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, sure.
But for me, it's like, dude, what are you doing at this concert?
So
I remember I got asked that one time. I went to see The Fray. And a scalper recognized me. I'm walking into the concert. A scalper goes, "Wait, man, what are you doing at this concert?" What's wrong with The Fray? The Fray's all right. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues after this.
Philadelphia Union.
Mike Missanelli show. You got me thinking of concerts now. How many concerts do you think I've gone to in my life?
Easily clearing 200.
I was thinking it would be about 200.
Yeah. That was where, because I'm thinking about the number of concerts you've gone to since I've known you.
Yeah, here's my thing. I've seen 3 multi. But I've seen Bruce, Pearl Jam, and the National multi-times. So I don't think I've seen anybody else multi-times. Every other concert's a onesie.
I'm curious, do you count a festival where you've seen the artist before as a multi?
No, because I don't know. I don't go to arena concerts anymore.
Okay.
So the last arena concert, the last 2 I've been to, which was arena worthy, were I saw Britney Spears.
Really?
Yes. I saw Britney Spears. Well, it's because my daughter was little.
Okay.
And I had a suite. It was invited into a suite.
I was going to say, out of place at the Sabrina Carpenter, but very much comfortable at the Britney Spears.
Well, I was in a suite.
Got it.
I was tucked away.
Okay.
You know, and that was a long time ago. That's when she was in her heyday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're talking like, how many years ago is that? 25?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 25 years ago.
Sounds about right.
I saw Arcade Fire in an arena. Probably you probably don't even know who Arcade Fire is, but they're Canadian. I go to a lot of mini alt concerts. That's what I do now. So and I see them once and that's it. I'm good.
I've gathered that from you that you.
I'm a onesie.
You also are up my neck of the woods a number of times for those. Like the venues that you go to are a lot of I don't want to call them smaller venues, but they're not like the arena.
Yeah, I go to it used to be the Franklin Music Hall, Union Transfer, like those type of concerts.
I love walking past Union Transfer when something's going on there. The line there, the people, all the energy in front of it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's cool. Now there's stand-up concerts too, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That guy, at this stage, I'd love to sit down.
That's fair.
So it's stamina now. Oh, I've seen multi-times Fanagram.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen Fanagram multi-times.
So that's 4 for you, 4 multi-times.
Yeah, there's probably a couple others I'm forgetting. All right, 610-632-0975. I want to start the clock on the Eagles here and the mini camp and what they had yesterday, and a lot of people spoke. But there was a really interesting story about Saquon Barkley that made the case that the fact that he hasn't been as active physically in the offseason is a good thing. And I'm not so sure it is. Like, I'll read this story. It says, contrary to public perception, Saquon Barkley hasn't spent every waking moment of the Eagles' offseason program holed up in a gym, squatting a barbell, practically overflowing with plates on either end. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that first line. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, he hasn't been really in the gym as much as he's been in the past. Am I supposed to be comforted by that?
I know you're not. I have the sense for you, Mike, that right now, this media tour and the conversation about not doing as much, you are very uneasy about what's going to come next year.
I've seen it in the past where people do that and then they come back and they've hit some kind of a wall. I've seen it. Now, maybe he's superhuman. He said, now the story goes on. Yes, max squats are part of his regimen, but in the wake of his last season, Barkley prioritizes recovery too. He said, basically, everyone that I trust told me to sit my butt down for a little bit. I don't think I like that. Am I missing something here?
Well,
he's prioritized not doing anything in the offseason. He's been around here. He's been around there. He's been making an appearance here. He's playing golf here. I'm telling you, it's the Cole Hamels principle.
Do you think that Saquon Barkley is going to let himself be out of shape?
I don't think so. But when you start to shirk little things like that, I think that bad things happen.
I can't.
I don't wish any bad. Listen, he's my man. He's a Penn Stater. I think he is superhuman. He's the best running back in the league. I get all that. But I don't like the fact that he's prioritizing rest.
I can't claim to know what DeMarco Murray did after he had the 430-something touches that's going to be compared to the number that Saquon Barkley had. But coming off of that season, playing all the way into February, and being used as much as you were, wouldn't you expect to be a little bit dialed back at this point in the offseason?
I don't like it. I'm sorry. I just don't like it. Like he says, they were comparing it to like a younger Barkley said that he would behave differently. In the past, a video of Derrick Henry running hills might have ignited a sense of urgency within Barkley to get back to work. But he doesn't draw comparisons anymore, knowing each player requires a different offseason plan. All right, he's saying that his offseason plan prioritizes rest. Okay, but I'm not that comfortable with it.
This also compounds your conversation about him. I know you did not like the drinking conversation that came up on Greenlight with Chris Long.
No, I don't think he should be drinking at all. I don't think he should be pounding beers.
You've gotten the Mike Miss gut feeling about a number of things while we've been doing this show.
I don't like this.
Do you have the gut feeling that we're in for a season that we're not going to like from Saquon Barkley?
No, I think we're in for a season where he doesn't replicate 2,000 yards. And people are going to say, see, you did this and you didn't replicate 2,000 yards. Now, if he did work out like the same in the past and he doesn't get 200 yards, you get a little more leeway with that. But you're inviting people like me, idiots like me, to question, well, I'll see. You know, I'd rather not have that kind of ammo at all.
But if he doesn't replicate 2,000, we're talking about 2,000 yards.
Suppose he goes 1,400.
Compared to other 2,000-yard rushers, he goes 1,400. That's not a bad season.
All right, suppose he goes less than that. Here's what I don't want to have happen. I know that they're going to make a special emphasis this year to stop Saquon Barkley. Any defensive coordinator worth of salt is going to, this is what the Eagles do best. And they're going to dare, just like they dare him all the time, Jalen Hurts to beat him. Now, and maybe he's capable of that. But the way their attack is most successful is based on what Saquon Barkley can do. And I don't want to feel like, well, maybe it's not going to be the same. I would rather read a story. He's working out feverishly like a maniac because he's still hungry and they want to win again. And this way I go, okay, well, then all bets are off. He's prepared the best he could. I just have a little weary feeling about this. People are out there probably going, you're crazy. You're always looking at the negative thing. That's not. It's just a feel. I've been around for a while. 610-632-0975 is how you get into the show. It's the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Cubs beat the Phillies. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Cubs beat the Phillies 8-4 last night. Mick Gable allowed 3 home runs. Struggled with his command. Only lasted 4 innings in his third start as a Philly. Taijuan Walker gave up the go-ahead home run in the loss. The Phillies offense only mustered up 3 hits against the 5 relievers that they saw in the game. Max Kepler did homer and lost, but there's been a significant power outage for this Phillies team, and Rob Thompson talked about it post-game.
Yeah, a lot of singles. Yeah, I think it'll come. I think we're just going through a stretch where we're not getting the ball in the air. We're not hitting the gaps. It'll come. There's more power in this lineup than what we're showing right now.
In other Phillies news, Brandon Marsh left the game due to left elbow soreness. Aaron Nola suffered a setback in his recovery from the ankle injury. He now has a stress reaction in his ribs. And Carlos Hernandez was DFA'd earlier this morning. Michael Mercado recalled from AAA Lehigh Valley. The Phillies look to win the series this afternoon against the Cubs at 105, sending Jesus Luzardo to the mound against Ben Brown for Chicago. The Eagles had their sole mandatory minicamp practice yesterday. It will now disperse until training camp. Training camp get going July 22nd. Of course, that down in South Philadelphia. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight. You'll be able to listen to coverage of it right here on The Fanatic starting at 7:30. This update is brought to you by Rocket. Rocket.com is a single, seamless home ownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and even refinance your home. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA Finals action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
10:55, Mike Missanelli Show. I haven't seen Fall Out Boy.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I thought that intro would work for the show. I don't think I would go see Fall Out Boy.
Interesting. By the way, I think we're finding out that you and Andrew DiCecco do have a similar music
Yeah, I don't
taste.
know if he chose that.
He did.
He did?
It's his intro, too.
It is.
Yes.
So it's a band called Local H. And you just don't get it. Keep it copacetic. That's what he chose? That's his band, Local H?
Apparently so.
Well, how about that?
He's a big music man.
Is he a music man?
Yes. Here, wait.
All
Let me see if I can get his open here. I can get you the sound of it. But yeah. Apparently he is also a fan of Local H.
Oh, well, Local H had one hit.
Well, then both of you are fans of that hit.
I bought that CD, so the rest of the CD sucks. Anyway, let's go to the text board. We got some text on repeat concerts. We also have some text on Saquon. I know. Listen, this is going into the big 40-foot wave. I know I'm going in there because people don't like to hear anything negative about any of their key players. And that's not negative. I'm just saying, I like he talked about retirement. He's here. He's there. He's doing appearances. He's doing. It's this Saquon the steak thing, and right. I don't know. I don't like it.
Ryan from Frankfurt will be the beginning of that 40-foot wave you're trying to navigate.
go ahead.
Come on, Mike. Here you go. Sounded like a 90-year-old fart. Stop. He doesn't have to work out all day, every day.
I know he doesn't have to work out every day, all day, but it's the mindset. Now, on one hand, he says, I feel like I'm in my prime, blah, 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 blah. But he talked about, well, I don't know how long I want to play. Blah, blah. I don't like those kind of thoughts. I don't like the thought of, I felt I should step away and rest. I'm uncomfortable with that.
Bob from Collingswood, as Bill would say, Mike, you're not wrong. Saquon shouldn't be pounding beers and talking about it. Stay in shape.
All right, listen, I don't think he's out of shape. This is not particular to Saquon. I don't believe that any professional athlete that has to have their body fine-tuned like an engine should tear it down with any alcohol at all. I really don't. There's a time to drink alcohol when you're done. Prior to you getting there, there was a time you probably drank alcohol. During the time that you're a professional athlete, I don't know how alcohol does you any good, except maybe a glass of wine every now and then.
Matt from Raleigh, continuing with the alcohol conversation. I agree with Saquon resting, but in the same vein, it seems a little contradictory because we have seen him partying quite a bit, and alcohol does not help the body recover.
I don't like it.
A couple more here. With Mike, if it was a normal season for Saquon, I would feel like you, but he had a crazy season last year. 2,000-plus yards, more games than he ever played, and now another year older. I think he knows his body and wants to make sure he gives himself enough rest. I'm sure he wants to stay fully healthy, too.
I hope he does know his body because he's been a workout maniac the whole time, and now he's not. So I hope he does know his body. Like he's taking a step back from what he normally would do.
So let's fast forward this conversation, though, so that we have a clear parameter on what we would consider a step back and what we would consider a problem. Because I don't think any of us are saying another 2,000-yard year, right? What would be a year where you would come back disappointed and we would start to point to, oh, wow, what was he doing in the offseason?
I don't know. I don't know what that number is. Is 1,400 the number? Is that good? Is that a good year for Saquon? 1,400 yards? Divide that by 17 games? What is that?
That would get you to
what is that?
82 yards a game.
82 yards a game? Is that okay?
Again, compared to other guys who have gone for 2,000, that's probably on your upper echelon of the way things work out for you.
This guy's the premier running back in the league.
All right, fine.
80 yards a game, is that enough for them to win?
I think it's going to be a different look to the offense. I don't think it's going to be as run-centric because I don't think you can be.
I hope you're right. I hope it's not they want to be run-centric and they can't get it done. That's what I'm worried about.
With this line?
I got it.
Superhuman?
I got it. But guess what? How defenses are going to play them? They're selling out.
And when they sell out, you got two wonderful wide receivers to try and fix this offense and make things happen through the air.
But Chris Sims doesn't think the quarterback can beat him.
Oh, Chris Sims. Come on.
Listen, man, I worry. I worry a little bit. That's all. It's not a big worry. It's just a little worry. You're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show. It's 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, and we broadcast right here from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right, let's get back to the phones. Oh, actually, give me one more Saquon text here before we get back to the phones. People are taking me apart.
This is where Bill would have counted your Saquon comment and Ray would have played the drop. Bill, you were right all along.
Yeah? I'm glad you know the future. That you can say Bill was right all along because we don't know the future.
We don't.
That has not played out yet. Get back to me a little later. Save your stuffing up your rear ends comments until later when we get in the middle of the season, or maybe. All right, let's go to the phones and talk to Brian in Bryn Mawr. Brian, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Brian?
I have never called before, and I'm so excited.
No, I'm excited, Brian. First time caller? This is awesome.
I've been listening to you since I was like 20 years old, and I'm now 53.
Oh, my God. That makes me feel really young. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, you're definitely older than me.
What's on your mind today, brother?
Well, what I was thinking about your Saquon take, I think, is horrendous. Like, let the dude live his life, I think. He's not going to, disintegrate into the ground because he...
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But if he takes a step backwards, where are they?
But you're assuming that he will take a step back.
I'm just posing the question. That's all. I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't like the fact that he's taken it a little easier this offseason. He has been everywhere, the guy.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I've seen it before where guys that go after a successful season and they overexpose themselves here, there, and then they come back and it's not the same vibe.
I'm not going to argue against or with that.
Okay.
Because you don't know that he will or will not.
You're right. You're absolutely
perform.
right. You're absolutely right. But see, I'd rather go into a year where I know a guy is totally busting his rear end to get ready for another season than a guy saying, I decided it's better to rest. That's all. I want to maximize the ability. And to maximize the ability, I'd rather see the workout regimen back. That's all.
Oh, okay. Can't argue against it.
All right. What's your take on the Phillies?
The Phils, they're really frustrating, but do you think it's time to sound the alarm on them?
Meaning what? What's the alarm?
They're just going to melt down. They're not going to make the playoffs.
I think they're on the cusp of making the playoffs right now. When I look at it, the fact that their bullpen is like this, the fact that their outfield is not giving you production,
the bullpen is garbage.
Yeah, well, that hurts.
That
hurts. Right now they're in the 6th spot in the playoffs, and they, if another team passes them.
So the other point, which is when you talk to someone on the phone, I was totally taken aback. But the Michael Mercado call-up, what?
Well, that's the best they have, Brian. That's the point. That's the best they have. That's why I'm not comfortable with it. Let me give you your general knowledge question. All right.
Well, I'm pretty smart, I think.
Okay. Well, let's see how smart you are. These are NBA players who either played with or not with LeBron James. If I give you the name Kevin Love, did he or did he not play with LeBron James?
Oh, he absolutely played.
He did play with LeBron James. You're absolutely correct. Hold on. You qualify for the Dave Matthews tickets. All right, Ray? Let's go with LaMarcus Aldridge. Did he or did he not play with LeBron James?
Oh, man. This would have to be an end-of-the-road type of situation. And when they were trying to put together... I'm going to go with no, he did not.
He did not play with LeBron James. So, Ray, on the board.
You nearly made me overthink that one.
I did?
Yeah.
I know. Well, you have to overthink all of these.
I know. Well, there's
because
some
you
of
never
them.
know at the end of somebody's career whether they were on.
Well, yeah, the number of guys in his Rolodex that he was like, hey, man, you're probably on your way out. You want to try and help me win a ring before you get out of here?
Exactly. It's what makes this category so tough.
I'm trying to think. Aldridge, Trailblazers, Spurs. Where else?
Yeah, he played with a couple others.
Those end of... Did he end up on the Nets, too?
I think he did.
LaMarcus Aldridge. Where did we end up with him? All right, so he was... Yeah, Brooklyn was where he ended. It was just those three.
Those three teams is it?
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't realize he made it to
seems like
2022.
he'd be a guy that would play with a lot more teams.
Yeah, he does. Like, again, the end of it there, I guess I didn't really put in the fact that he only lasted really 3 years after his last All-Star game. He did make it 36 years old.
Yeah.
Heck of a run for LaMarcus Aldridge. Good for you, man.
Since we're talking about Saquon, Nick Sirianni talked about him yesterday, and the notion that and Saquon put this out there, the notion that he would retire early, like Barry Sanders. So here's what my man Nick Sirianni said yesterday. This is Nick Sirianni 1, Ray, if you got that up.
Yeah, I guess anybody could do that, right? I just know he's got a lot of good football left in him. I don't, again, you have I have interactions with these guys every single day, and so, I'm excited that he's on our football team, and he'll be on our football team for the 2025 season. I really don't let myself get wrapped up into anything else beyond that, except for the day that we're in and trying to get ready for this practice, and obviously handle all those things as they come. And as long as I'm the head coach here, I'd always want Saquon Barkley on this football team. Obviously he means a lot to this football team, and as a player and as a teammate.
Jesus, seems like he was a little off guard with that question. Right?
Yeah,
he was kind of stammering around there with that question.
He's not used to doing media anymore, He's got to get back in his flow. It's only been, 2 media sessions? By the time we get to September, we'll get a lot of cliches. We'll get back to business here with him. But it did seem like yesterday he was a little taken aback to be talking with people again. As if they dropped it on him at 1:30.
We'll have some Nick Sirianni greatest hits as this show progresses. 610.
Hell yeah.
632-0975. It's the audience 1, Ray 1 on General Knowledge Wednesday. Again, the news of today, Carlos Hernandez, you're gone. Won't see you no more. Michael Mercado to the rescue. The Mike Missanelli show continues after this.
We want to hear from you, so text us
And?
Once.
War Kids.
Once.
Thought of another band I've seen more than once. Manchester Orchestra.
Makes sense.
They're not really an orchestra. They're a band. That's a really good band. So I was intrigued first time I saw them. First time I saw them, I walked into they was at the Fillmore. And the guy says to me, "Oh, Mike Miss, I didn't know you were an MO fan." And I go, I guess I'm not enough of an MO fan because I never called him MO.
I don't know him that well.
No, but I saw from that concert, I saw him again at an outdoor concert at the Man. They had that outdoor that situation. So what are the concert texts? Repeat concert texts that are?
Yeah, we had some impressive ones where people had gone Kansas 29 times.
Kansas. Wow, that was my band back in the day when I was in college.
Really?
Yes. I saw actually I've seen Kansas twice. I saw them once at Penn State and then another time.
All right, there you go.
But that's a great band to see live because they're full and the light show and the whole bit. But that's when, back then those kind of bands, they always had light shows.
Mm-hmm. We had the Allman Brothers. 40 times.
Wow.
Steve and Hilton Head.
That must have been a long time ago because they're all dead. Well, no, a few of them are dead.
Adam from Willow Grove here. I've seen the Grateful Dead 192 times.
Yeah, see, I know people that are. I don't get that. I know it's a cult thing, but and it's I guess if you're on the scene of a Dead concert, it's like a party thing. Like everybody's high, everybody's like. A peace, love, and essence.
Sounds like a quality crew right there.
One of those deals, So, all right, I get that, but that's not me.
Yeah, and reminder, since we're giving out Dave Matthews Band tickets here, we got someone who's been to over 60 shows.
Yeah, like our first caller.
Highest grossing artist of the 2000s decade, so 2000, 2009.
Is that right?
Yes. It's a good testament to those. So this was, I think, in response to the fact that they're now playing smaller venues. And the end of this was, Ray, you need to go to a show. All right. I mean, hey.
Dave Matthews lives in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a winery down there as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a countryman. He lives where, what's the name? Howie Long.
That's something that you and Dave Matthews could talk about.
Yeah, we could.
Winery business.
We could talk about wine. All right. Let's get back to the phones. We got a lot of people checking in today, which is always good on the General Knowledge Wednesday. Let's see. We got Mike in Drexel Hill. Mike, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Mike?
Good morning, gentlemen, or whatever it is. The Eagles situation, I think you're dead on for other reasons. I think they need to see this, the Eagles. Well, you're going into a football season, you have to be fine-tuned. Like maybe he's doing a lot of stretching and resting.
Maybe. Listen, maybe I'm completely out in left field. The notion of him slacking off just a little bit bugs me a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, I think you're dead on. The seldom years that I did fantasy, his rookie year, I had the second pick, and I took him. I was like, you got to take a quarterback, and he had a good year, a monster year. Missed a few games, but I've always liked Saquon, and I think this year, and you could say it, the drinking, you see a little bit of it. I don't like that either. And also, he's smelling himself a little bit and enjoying life. And you know what? I'm not begrudging him or saying you shouldn't do that because I would do the same thing probably. But I think as an athlete, you have to give a different set of responsibilities.
I agree. I agree. And again, I am not saying that bad things are going to happen. I would rather hear the opposite of what I'm hearing now. That's all.
Well, I wanted the kid out of Arizona State, the little fullback. He's like a scat back.
Oh, Scataboo?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I thought he was going to go a little bit deeper in the draft. What who knows projection?
Who got him? The Giants?
Yep.
Yeah, the Giants have Scataboo.
Yeah, he's a good ball player. He really is. I think he's perfect for the NFL as an unlimited amount of.
Yeah, he's a backup.
So do you think the Phillies are going to make the playoffs, or you don't think the Phillies?
I think they will. I think they will make the playoffs. I think they will. I think that they'll squeeze in.
I think they're using this Justin Crawford, what you were saying earlier in the week. They're saying he's got some injury, but it's like, why are they afraid to take a chance?
Marsh had a couple of hits last night, so he keeps them at bay. Let me give you a general knowledge question, Mike. You ready? Movie character.
Yes.
This is a movie character. The movie character, you should know this movie. Chubbs Peterson. Chubbs Peterson. Now, I'll give you a hint. This is an Adam Sandler movie.
I have no idea.
Oh, wow. Sorry, buddy.
I was going to. Yeah, it's all good.
All right. Chubbs Peterson. Ray, you even know this.
Yeah. Happy Gilmore.
It's Happy Gilmore. It was played by Apollo Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Played that role.
That's a wide range.
This is what this is the kind of hints I'm going to give. Like for that, I should have said Apollo Creed is the hint.
Do you think that? I guess people get it by actor on that one.
All right, here's you. Let's go with Rod Tidwell.
Rod Tidwell would be no.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Crap. Now I'm all thrown off.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. Ace Ventura, I got nothing.
Jerry Maguire.
Damn! I watched that movie with my dad. We loved that.
Come on, man. It's a movie you've seen. Jerry Maguire.
I have seen Jerry Maguire. I hate my movie now.
That's a bad move by you.
Yeah, it is.
That's
tough one.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah.
All right, we got Greg and Nick and Vicente checking in. You guys hang in there. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, and we're going to play the greatest hits of Jalen Hurts from yesterday. I love Jalen. He inspires me. Everything he said is an inspirational quote. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Cubs beat the Phillies. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Cubs beat the Phillies 8-4 last night. Mick Abel allowed 3 home runs. Struggled with his command. Only lasted 4 innings in his third start as a Philly. Taijuan Walker gave up the go-ahead home run in the loss. The Phillies offense only mustered up 3 hits against the 5 relievers they saw in the game. Max Kepler did homer in the loss, but there's been a significant power outage for this Phillies team, and Rob Thompson talked about it post-game.
Yeah, a lot of singles. Yeah, I think it'll come. I think we're just going through a stretch where we're not getting the ball in the air. We're not hitting the gaps. It'll come. There's more power in this lineup than what we're showing right now.
In other Phillies news, Brandon Marsh left the game with a left elbow after he slid and injured his left elbow. We'll let you know what the deal is with that. Aaron Nola suffered a setback in his recovery from his ankle injury, except now his ribs have the problem because there's a stress reaction in his ribs. And Carlos Hernandez was DFA'd earlier today. Michael Mercado recalled from AAA. The Phillies will look to win the series this afternoon against the Cubs at 1:05, sending Jesus Lazard to the mound against Ben Brown. The Eagles had their sole mandatory minicamp practice yesterday and now dispersed until training camp. That'll be July 22nd when they show up for training camp. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight, 7:30. Coverage begins live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update's brought to you by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private because your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even WhatsApp. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA Finals coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
11:25, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. I don't think I saw this band either. What's this band? Foles?
Let's make some noise. Come on.
Uh-huh. That's Foles. I haven't seen Foles.
This is going to be a fun game for me the rest of the day, trying to figure out who of this list is just to pump you up coming back and who it is someone that you would listen to when you're riding.
Yeah, I mean, most of these songs are just songs that would pump you up coming back to the show. But there are a few that I've seen. You're going to see, the oddest concert that I chose to go to?
Love to know that.
Billy Idol.
Really? Can I know why?
I don't know why.
There's no story behind it.
Yeah. I don't know why I went to see Billy Idol.
Fair enough. I'm trying to think what the weirdest I went to was.
Billy Idol had a stage that he had two women's legs in thigh highs coming out, like built into the stage, and he came out from the middle. That was so weird. Oh, these rockers.
Yeah.
They're incorrigible sometimes.
Sometimes.
610-632-0975. All right, need to hear Jalen. Jalen, inspire me, baby. All right, let's go with the fact that he has certain obligations, Ray. Jalen Hurts, number 6. This is from yesterday during the mini camp, the mandatory session.
Yeah, I think in relation to the organization, I think there are certain things that I'm obligated to do, and you try and make the most of those things. And as far as anything off the field, I always filter it through the main thing. That's just trying to go out there and win. You know, can I allocate time to go out there, prepare, and be prepared as I walk into something. And so I always filter it through that.
All right, there you go. Filter it through the main thing, which is winning.
Keep the main thing.
That's right. There you go.
When you play to the standard, you win.
All right, let me hear one more, and we'll move on with our phone calls. Jalen Hurts, number 1.
And there's a dynamic of that kind of already exists. It's just a matter if it gets called in the game. You know, coaches always had a say and played a role. Obviously, he's in a different seat now, so he's the final. He gets the final word. He's in charge of the offense, and so I think he's been doing a great job of that and what we've been able to do. And on the other side of it, there is a dynamic of adaptability that you have to be able to have and find success regardless of what the leadership looks like, what the voice is, who's in the quarterback room coaching me, or who's out there calling plays. And so that's really where I put my energy at, trying to decode these things and kind of figure it out on my terms a little bit and find a way to make it go.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. He's talking about Patullo, of course. The dynamic of adaptability, decode those things.
I think he's going to be a big decoding guy this year.
Got to decode.
Decode, I think, is the new word of the year.
Yeah, I like it. Let's go back to the phones. We've got Greg in Bethlehem checking in. What's up, Greg?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning, Greg.
I got a little different perspective looking at the Phillies. A hypothetical. You're starting a new franchise, and you could pick any Philly you want for your team. Who would you pick? Besides the young pitchers.
You're starting a franchise, and you're picking one Philly to start it? Who would I pick?
One or more. Yep.
Is it a trick question? You're going to pick You're going to pick Harper, aren't you?
With his contract and his wrist?
Yeah, I'm still picking Harper. What, would you pick somebody different?
Well, my thought was maybe Schwarber because his contract currently.
Yeah, but you're going to have to pay him. You're going to have to pay him. Yeah, I mean, you're going to wind up paying him $20-25 million, so that's got to be put in the equation, no?
Yeah, well, it does. I was my first thought was Harper, but
well, it's
then I
Harper.
got to
Listen,
thinking
if
about
you're giving me multiple, it's Harper Wheeler. If I can take two, I'll take it to Harper Wheeler. That to me, that's a no-brainer. I'm not taking Schwarber is a DH, so I would I have to take the guy who's a little more versatile than DH, and Harper's the best player in the team. So
okay, all right.
That was that. Wait, hypothetical question. I like it. You changed the course this year. Now, what they DFA'd Carlos Hernandez. Are you broken up about that?
It's about time.
They brought up Michael Mercado.
Yeah, that'll save him.
Look at Greg getting a little
This
sarcastic.
man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play.
All right, Greg. Your general knowledge. Are you here for general knowledge today?
Yeah. Why not?
All right. What syndrome? This is the general knowledge category. What syndrome causes motor tics, and in 10% of all cases can cause compulsive cursing? It's a syndrome.
Yeah. What's no. What's the? Alzheimer's? No,
it's not Alzheimer's. That's Tourette's syndrome. Tourette's syndrome. Did you have that, Ray?
I did have that one.
You did have that
Yes,
one?
that would have been my guess, Tourette's.
Okay, Ray, I'm going back to Shakespeare.
Oh, great.
You'll get this one. Fill in the blanks in this Shakespeare quote. Something is rotten in the state of...
Denmark.
Correct. There you go, Ray. And Ray takes the lead.
I think we're tied.
What, the audience says too?
Because we had a Mark Antony answer as well.
Oh,
from the
that's
audience.
right. We did.
So I think
we
we're
did get
locked
the
at
Mark
2.
Antony answer.
I wanna make
We
sure the
are
audience-
locked at 2. And, of course, today we are playing for a pair of tickets to see Dave Matthews at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion on Friday, July 25th. Limited tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster.com, but you can score a pair. All you need is a correct answer today to qualify for the situation. All right. I got to hear one more Jalen Hurts before we move on here. Jalen was talking about progress, Ray, and how there is comfort in progress. This is Jalen Hurts 5.
Yeah, I think as you get older, you kind of find, like I say, comfort. You're encouraged by what you've been able to do, and that opens up the door of feeling like, okay, maybe there's more that I can do. And so when I look at it, just looking at Coach Scott and saying, man, how can he help me take it to the next level? And I know that's his whole thing. When he came here, that was where his head was. He said, I just want to help you do more, get more, and advance my game. And so I think he's been great. I've always had that sponge-like mentality and taking in as much as I can. And, when it's time to go out there and play, go out there and play.
There are 2 players in the history of this town that have taken me into the metaphysical. One is Jalen. The other was Randall Cunningham. Randall took me into the metaphysical for different reasons than Jalen does. But I love it. I just sit here and I float on a Zen cloud when I listen to both of those dudes.
It's peak off season. We're getting sponge talk from Jalen Hurts.
I just love it, man. There's comfort in progress. That's beautiful. It's beautifully said.
The Hurtsism book would sell so well.
Yes.
His version of inner excellence is going to be
right. This inner excellence guy has nothing on the greatest hits of Jalen.
We should put together his greatest hits.
We absolutely should. Oh, man, this is classic.
Keep the main thing.
Let's go back to the text board. What we got on the text board right now?
We got some people talking about Saquon and his usage and what this season looks like after our conversation earlier this hour.
A lot of people seem to be a little disturbed by my take on this, but that's okay.
I don't think the Eagles are going to use Saquon as much as they did last year. I think Will Shipley is going to be a big part of the offense, way bigger than Kenny Gainwell last year. So with that said, I'm being okay with the decline from Saquon because I think we're going to get the production from Shipley to make up for it. Ben in Bucks County.
I'm not so sure I feel that. You feel that, Ray?
No.
Will Shipley?
More than Gainwell? I think you're going to realize how much they actually did use Gainwell.
Yeah, they use Gainwell a lot, and Shipley is more of a grinder. He's not going to make as many big plays as a guy like Gainwell could have made for him. Therefore, I don't think they're going to be sharing any kind of a load at all. Saquon's going to try to get him the same number of touches because that's where they're most successful.
We also have someone that agrees with you on the Saquon situation.
Oh, okay.
Mike, I think you're absolutely right. I think one of the biggest disruptors in any sport is when the routine gets messed with. Add the fact that Saquon is getting to see things that could potentially pull him away from football once he's done playing. These opportunities could potentially tempt him away from his typical football focus.
Listen, man,
Abington.
I just get a feel for certain things. I get a vibe. Whether it usually turns out to be more right than not. But, like, when I had to feel for the Sixers, when I had to feel like the Phillies coming into the season, I go, they're weak in those two areas, and they didn't address them. Like, I get a feel that there's something that I go, it doesn't feel right to me. So that's the feeling I get right now. And I'm not trying to cast aspersions on any kind of success that the Eagles are going to have or what Saquon's going to have. It's just the way I feel right now. 610-632-0975 is how you get into the show. We're having a busy show today. Don't forget, News at Noon coming up shortly. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Andrew Salciunas, John Kincade.
Most of them when I was like really younger, we'd go to the Spectrum concerts, me and my friends. And the classic rock group, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I had to be a teenager. Maybe I was 17. And during the concert, they blew up their Moog synthesizer. It blew up on stage.
What?
Yeah. That was the last song. And Keith Emerson was the keyboard player. He was like a crazy keyboard player. And they opened this. They had this big synthesizer. Now back then it was like really big. You could see it. It was all lit up. And he opened it up, and it swerved through the arena, like creating this sound wave that went, and it blew up. Now, I'm pretty sure I saw that, but during the concert, I got lured into smoking this crazy hashish. So I don't know if it really happened or not. Now, another crazy concert I saw, a guitarist named Robin Trower left the stage, and his guitar kept playing.
And that was some crazy stuff you were on.
Well, people that were at this concert, I swear to God, to this day, I don't know how he did it or what happened at that particular time or what I was on. But he literally left the stage, put his guitar in a rack, and it kept playing.
And Mike, you let me know where that stuff came from.
I don't know. People in the past have verified that story that they were at that concert. And the other thing, this is fairly recently, I saw 9 Inch Nails, and I happened to be like in the bowels of the Spectrum near their dressing room, in the old Spectrum, and they didn't come on, like they were delayed coming on, and I could hear I was right outside their dressing room, and I could hear mayhem going on inside the dressing room. Well, finally, it came out to take the stage. They were covered in talcum powder. Like they were having some kind of a talcum powder fight. Before they came on, they were covered in powder. So they take the stage, and I go to watch the concert. And my man, the lead singer and the front man for 9 Inch Nails, named Trent Reznor, he had a keyboard, a portable keyboard, and he was playing that keyboard. During one of the songs, he lifted the keyboard off the rack, threw it at his drummer. The drummer's still playing. The drummer ducked out of the way of the flying keyboard, and it smashed his drum set all over the place. I go, man, these dudes.
So were all of you just on drugs at that time?
I had no drugs that night.
Well, not you, but
I don't know what 9 Inch Nails was on that night. But he literally picked up the keyboard, and like it was portable keyboard, and he threw it like a javelin at the drummer. the drummer like is still playing and moved his head, and it hit his drums and then knocked over a couple of his drums.
That's incredibly impressive.
Yeah, really. He kept playing. It's like when you keep drinking a beer when you catch a foul ball at the stadium.
Yeah, I'm a one thing at a time type of guy. Someone throws something at me in here, I'm getting far away from this board. Honestly, I might just keep walking.
My man was off that night, but that was a very entertaining concert. All right, let's go back to the phones, and we've got, Nick in Cherry Hill. Nick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Nicky?
Mike, I don't think that was talcum powder if it was a 9 Inch Nails concert.
Well, well, I tell you what, it had to be an abundance of cocaine because they were covered with it. All of them. That was a kilo they had in there.
That sounds more accurate. I also didn't have you being a Billy Idol guy on my bingo card.
No, I don't even know how I wound up at that concert, but I did.
You saw some good ones back in the day.
Oh, I did. I've seen a lot of concerts, man.
Yeah. Hey, with the Phillies, I think everyone needs to take a page out of Aaron Rodgers' book here and just relax. 2 weeks ago, we were the best team in baseball. Everyone's playing in the playoff parade, and I don't know, this week is it's a long season. Everyone's got to relax. I think that Bryce needs to get healthy. The lineup doesn't have a lot of pop in it without him. That's a little bit discouraging to me. Without Bryce in the lineup, this lineup doesn't look intimidating at all, which is
no. They don't hit for power. They just they're built to slug and they don't slug, and that's problematic. And with the lack of production that they get in center and left, and the lack of production they get on the back end of the bullpen or the front end of the bullpen, I'm a little worried. I really am. They've got to beat two teams: the St. Louis Cardinals, who seem to have this charmed life going right now, and the Milwaukee Brewers to get into the playoffs. They're the two teams I focus on now.
You're not a fan of bringing up Crawford right now?
I am. Yes, that was my whole show yesterday. Like they needed they need some kind of an infusion, some kind of energy infusion, and I think bringing him up and making him the regular center fielder might be the thing that they need to do.
I mean, he's hitting 350 right now in AAA.
Yeah, he is. He's a little injured right now. I don't know. Listen, would I rather take a chance with him than what I have in center field now? Yes, absolutely, I would.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I think that will give him some pop, just a little, young excitement into the lineup.
Yeah, an infusion of energy
change it a little
is
bit.
What I need.
Yeah, exactly.
Like shock in a pool. All right, man. Are you ready for a general knowledge question? NBA players who either did or did not play with LeBron James. So, if I give you the name Blake Griffin, did he or did he not play with LeBron James?
Did not.
You are correct. He did not play with LeBron James. So hold on, we'll put you on hold there. Nick gets the qualifier. LeBron James did not play ever with Blake Griffin, who moved around at the end again of his career.
Yeah,
playing here and playing there.
Detroit. He had the 1 year at Detroit, then he got hurt.
All right,
he led them in the postseason. That was a fun year for him.
Ray?
All right.
Did this man play or did not play with LeBron James? Rajon Rondo.
Rajon Rondo. He did play with them.
You are correct.
The Lakers bubble title.
There it is. LeBron Rondo with a brief foray with the Lakers. And he did play with LeBron James. All right, Ray. You are tied with the audience here on General Knowledge Wednesday. Coming up in 10 minutes or so, it is the News at Noon. Stay tuned.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Cubs beat the Phillies. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Cubs beat the Phillies 8-4 last night. Mick Abel out 3 homers, struggled with his command. Only lasted 4 innings in his third start as a Philly. Taijuan Walker gave up the go-ahead home run in the loss out of the bullpen. Phillies offense only mustered up 3 hits against the 5 relievers that they saw in the game for the Cubs. Max Kepler did homer in the loss, but there's been a significant power outage for this Phillies team, and Rob Thompson talked about it post-game.
Yeah, a lot of singles. Yeah, I think it'll come. I think we're just going through a stretch where we're not getting the ball in the air. We're not hitting the gaps. It'll come. There's more power in this lineup than what we're showing right now.
In other Phillies news, Brandon Marsh left the game with left elbow soreness. Aaron Nola suffered a setback in his plans to return from the injured list. Carlos Hernandez this morning was DFA'd, and Michael Mercado recalled from AAA Lehigh Valley. Phillies will look to win the series this afternoon against Cubs at 1:05, sending Jesus Lazar to the mound against Ben Brown. The Eagles had their sole mandatory minicamp practice yesterday. Now will disperse until training camp. July 22nd, your start date for training camp for the Birds. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight, starting at 7:30. You can listen to pregame coverage of the live call of that game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update brought to you by the Electrical Workers Local 269, the Electrical Training Alliance, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Local Workers 269, and the Electrical Training Alliance can offer a career with no college debt. To learn more, go to IBEW269.com. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA Finals coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sponge.
Also, what Jalen Hurts is. Anytime a new coach shows up.
Exactly. It's a
Sponge.
sponge for knowledge. 610-622-0975 is how you get into the show. Mike Missanelli Show. We're playing the greatest hits of Jalen. We're going to have some Nick Sirianni things. You know, one of the things I miss in this show is making fun of Bill. And so we had a plan to make fun of him today. And we'll do it. Bill got the last laugh, though.
Yeah.
So we kind of are disarmed here. But we'll attempt to give you an idea what we were trying to do a little later in the show.
The good thing about all this is I think it's going to like kind of raise the alarms in his head of like, hey, who's the person working behind the scenes against me? Because it's not the two of us.
Right.
Someone had to deliver audio to us. So
correct.
It might get him a little insecure about who's behind the scenes. Could he, he keeps throwing around this idea that he's got this like wonderful relationship with his new producer that's so much better than his old producer that, maybe Sylvan is feeding us information. Maybe Sylvan is...
So you've already named the culprit.
I'm not saying Savannah did.
Oh, you're not saying she did?
No. I'm not saying she. It could be Dylan. Dylan could be feeding us information. It could be Mike Vito. It could be anyone really in this building that just wants to see a little bit of, Bill get tweaked a little bit. We got a lot of Bill promotion running right now, and I feel like, some people are like, hey, let's let us have a little fun at Bill's expense.
Awesome. By the way, I'm going to give you a little Mike promotion here. Did you listen to Kincade this morning talk about how he had a conversation with a Major League Baseball player who happened to be listening to our show yesterday?
I did hear this. I didn't just hear this. As soon as I got here, John came out and he's like, you know what I have to do today? And it sounded like he had to go to the dentist, the way he was talking about what he had to do. And I was like, no.
Yes, a Major League Baseball player told him, after listening to me say how baseball is an individualistic sport, Major League Baseball told, I won't say who it is, but a Major League Baseball player who plays for the Cubs, told Kincade that, that guy knows a lot about baseball. You need to listen to him.
Ooh.
How about that?
How about that for you, Mike? What does that do for you? I'll be honest with you, because to me, you don't seem like the type of guy that would take that and be like, that's great. They'd be like, all right, cool, whatever.
Says we're on the same page.
Yeah. It's nice to be on the same page.
This Major League Baseball player was also a college baseball player before he got to the big leagues.
I rendered a guess earlier. And I can't.
You can put 2 and 2 together if you really think hard about who this is.
Yeah. So did I put 2 and 2 together and got 4?
I don't know. Who did you put it together? Who did you say?
I gave you a guess off the air earlier.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said.
All right.
Well, give me write it down. Can you write it down on your sheet here?
Here, I'll make something up here. You take the call, and I'll bring the sheet into the studio.
This right side on the screen here, where you said, yeah. Can you do that? Like where you put the brakes? Can you write that down? We'll see who. You are correct.
That's right.
You are correct. You figured it out. Yes, you figured it out.
Oh, that's great.
Prominent Major League player.
Yep.
I was listening to who's that guy on after you? He says. He really knows a lot about ball. You ought to listen to him.
Oof.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I wish that happened Monday, because then we probably could have tried to get a press pass for last night's game and just got audio of said player saying that into a mic. That would have been a great drop for us.
Fantastic.
Would have been a great drop for us.
In fact, we should do it today. We should do it now.
I bet John's down there, I think.
Kincaid's down there?
I think he's down there today.
Kincaid, come on, Johnny.
Yeah.
Get him to record that for me.
Yeah, come on. A little promotional.
Yeah, do something for the team here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get, Vicente. Hola, amigo Vicente, ¿qué tal?
Hola, amigo Mikey Miss, ¿qué pasa?
We're doing good here. How you doing?
I was 2 weeks away in Mexico, in Cuernavaca, visiting my 98-year-old aunt who just turned her birthday on June 1st.
So what's her name? Tia K.
Tia Luz Maria.
Luz Maria.
Like
Luz
light.
meaning light. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Luz Maria.
So I was preparing, a serenade with mariachis before her birthday, and then the whole thing, and then helping my cousins to clean out the house. It was a mess because since COVID, for 5 years, they haven't cleaned properly,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of those. So doing some chores that I don't even do here at home.
I like. I love the name. I love the name. Tia Luz Maria.
Luz Maria.
Yeah, Luz
98
Maria.
years old.
Beautiful.
God bless her.
Yes.
Anyway, while I was there, I was listening to the podcast on YouTube, the Mike Missanelli show, and I heard, Bill Colarulo was promoted to be with Rick Botalico in the afternoon show.
Yeah, Bill dropped us like a bad habit, man.
Yeah. I couldn't call because it was too early. Over there, it's 2 hours earlier.
Yeah.
So when it's 10 o'clock here, over there it's 8 o'clock. It's too early for me. I was on vacation anyway. So I want to mention also about the concerts. I had attended.
Oh, that's right. You're a music man. You're a big music man.
Yes. Over 125 times since 1986.
Look at you, man.
I lost the count.
All right, who have you seen the most?
The most is James Taylor, And then I seen Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr and George Harrison as well.
You like those mellow concerts.
Yeah, well, you know what? I went to the Bob Dylan tribute concert, 30th anniversary, on October 16, 1992. And among all the performers, there was in the middle of the show, Sinead O'Connor, who a few days before ripped the Pop picture in Saturday Night Live. So half the audience was booing her. And then Chris Christopherson was sent to escort her out of the stage. She didn't want to go, and he didn't want to oblige, So he told her, just give something to these bastards,
Yeah. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I got to tell people that you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, and we broadcast live from the Comcast Business Studios. All right, continue. Sorry. Lo siento.
So Sinead O'Connor, instead of singing a song tribute to Bob Dylan, she changed to War, the lyrics from Bob Marley. And, talking about child abuse and stuff by the priest and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like out of the place, And so that was the worst concert. I mean, in that little part, obviously, weird. But I really enjoyed the concert completely because at the end was George Harrison introducing his friend Bob Dylan.
Look at that.
In the traveling.
Man, you got a long, illustrious concert history, brother. What do you want to say about the Phils quickly?
The Phillies, Jesus comes to save. Save the series against the Cubs because Jesus Lazardo.
Jesus has to save the day, huh?
Yes, he's a Peruvian born, but from Venezuela.
Yes.
And he has been very good in the 23 World Baseball Classic. So he did miracles. So he only lost 2 games, but he's gonna come back again, and I can guarantee you tonight they're gonna win.
All right, buddy. Let me give you a general knowledge question.
My trivia. Yes.
All right. This is a movie character. All right. So let's go with the movie character Billy Hoyle.
Oh man. Billy Hoyle.
Billy Hoyle. I'll give you a hint. Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, that's the hint.
That's Black American guy. He was with Jack Nicholson and
but in this movie he's with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. I completely blank out the name of the movie.
Oh, you're out, Vicente. Billy Hoyle is White Man Can't Jump.
Oh,
all right. So listen, that's you want me to say felicitaciones a Bill?
Sí, por favor.
All right, you got it, buddy. All right, there you go. Felicitaciones a Bill, which is congratulations to Bill.
Yeah, who just popped into my studio.
He did pop up because he had the answer. He had the answer. White man can't jump.
That's fine. I'm not trying to do a show here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your lunch. It is now time for the news at noon. Ray Bob.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, Ray. Oh, we're going to start with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron revealed something yesterday.
Yes, Aaron Rodgers in the pursuit of a ring. He got the only ring this year that he's going to get because he announced that he is married. There was a lot of speculation when he showed up to Steelers minicamp with a ring on his finger, whether or not it was whether or not it was a wedding ring, whether or not he was married, and he confirmed the rumors that he is married.
Yeah, it's a wedding ring.
Congratulations.
Thank you. How long ago? It's been a couple months.
You know what I say to that? Horse feathers.
You don't buy it?
Not buying it at all. How in the world could he have pulled off a wedding and nobody knows it 2 months ago? And nobody leak anything.
It kind of makes sense why he's disappeared.
So what do you do? Have somebody over the house and conduct a little wedding, and no one, there was no one else there who would have spread that rumor? Come on now.
So you don't think he's married?
I think he's a con.
Well, I think he's a con. Of course he's a con.
Well, I think this would go right with his con. Yeah, now I'm married now, so now you can stay off me about that.
He's matrimonialized.
He's an idiot. He really is.
Well, he's making his waves because obviously now he's in the AFC North, and the question was posed from Myles Garrett what it was going to be like to have Aaron Rodgers in the division.
It's a good opportunity to put him in the graveyard.
One, horrible timing for the reporter to sneeze. Feel terrible for that reporter. Two, want to put him in the graveyard.
Well, that's a little harsh.
A little much.
Yeah, that's a little harsh.
He says it with a smile, but
you don't want to kill the man. I know metaphorically what you're saying there, but you literally don't want to literally kill the man.
Yeah.
All right, Miles?
Good opportunity to put him in the graveyard. All right, Miles.
Yeah, okay. Well, that to be less. You better have your head on a swivel, Rodgers.
Oh.
What else you got?
All right, elsewhere in the AFC North, Bengals right now struggling with Trey Hendrickson wanting a new deal, and they've still yet to sign their first-round draft pick, Shamar Stewart. Now, I don't know if you've been following this story. Basically, what's going on with Stewart right now is they want to put a new clause into his deal. The clause turns a default into any given year into a void of all remaining guarantees. So that previously didn't exist, where a void would only wipe out the guarantee for the year in which the default occurred. They're trying this out. He is like the guinea pig of this, where this is the first time they're offering this. He obviously doesn't want this because he doesn't want to lose his guarantees.
Correct.
He had quite the answer. For a rookie, quite a bold thing to say while he was talking with reporters at his locker as he sits out minicamp.
I feel like I assume it should be done between now and then. I hope they get back on the field tomorrow. That's what I'm planning to do. But as in how far I'll take it, I mean, it just depends. Like, in my case, I'm 100% right. I'm not asking for nothing y'all never done before. But in y'all case, y'all just want to win an argument instead of winning more games, in my opinion.
More concerned with winning arguments than games.
Well, that's not going to endear him to the organization, but stand your ground, young fella. That's what I say.
I agree. He's right. But from a rookie who's done nothing, some people think they might have overdrafted. Is it right to make the enemy with your organization like that?
Yeah, I think he's got some clout to do it. I think he's got some clout. I think his agent is telling him, you got some clout, man. They're not going to not sign you. Yeah.
I think he's absolutely right. I don't know if I would be as bold as a rookie to say that. So I give him props for saying it because I think he's right. But
yeah, I hear you. All right, go ahead, young buck. What else we got?
Last one for you here. Adam Lefko on the big podcast with Shaq gave a suggestion for the NBA Finals and something that they should do at sporting events across the board.
I think the reason the Masters is really cool is you're not allowed to use your cell phone the whole time you're there. And so when that's coming to an end, that crowd is going nuts because they're actually paying attention. I think you go to NBA game, no cell phones. Like, especially in the playoffs, bro, we have enough cameras. We'll get footage for you.
Nah, man, come on.
I would say it would save us me tweeting out the picture from my seats and us having to have the conversation about where I'm sitting if there were no cell phones.
But the difference is, Adam, that like in the Masters, they're so pristine. They don't want to hear the like you taking a picture. The noise factor is why they ban that. But for the NBA, come on, man. It's in the arena. You want to get a commemorative photo of a player or a situation. Nah, come on, Adam. That's taking it too far. All right, that's the news at noon today. Since you brought up Trey Hendrickson, on the other side, we'll give you what we tried to make fun of Bill with that backfired miserably. The Mike Missanelli Show continues on 97.5 The Fanatic. O'clock hour, Mike Missanelli Show. It's brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months. Rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. All right, so we had Trey Hendrickson mentioned in the news at noon. And so yesterday, if you were listening to Unfiltered, Bill Colarulo, our erstwhile partner, who decided to dump us, was talking about how it would be unfeasible for the Eagles to be interested in Trey Hendrickson, and therefore it's not going to happen. And we wanted to actually throw that out there in hopes that the Eagles would actually then sign, grab Hendrickson to make him look bad. So our methods were pure evil here. As it turns out, his feelings were kind of verified by football expert. What's that guy's name? Football expert?
Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter, as they call him in the morning, Shefty. So, first of all, do we have what Bill had to say?
Yes, we do.
All right, this is what Bill had to say yesterday.
There's two absolute studs who decided that they want new contracts, and they did not show up for OTAs. Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals, who we've known has been in a contract dispute and has made it very public.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
they paid all their offensive players that haven't played any.
Yeah, he's not happy. And then you also got TJ Watt, who's also now unhappy. Now, let me preface it with this. I would absolutely love to have either one of them on this Philadelphia Eagles team. What they would add to this defensive line and this defense would be incredible. You're talking about a guy in Trey Hendrickson who's had 17.5 sacks 2 years in a row, which is just wild. You're talking about TJ Watt, that when he's healthy, he's a defensive player of the year.
Yep.
He had 19 sacks 2 years ago, but you can't bring them here. And the reason you can't bring them here is the reason they're staying away from OTAs with the Bengals and the Steelers is because they want to get paid. And Hendrickson's making $16 million a year in the final year of his deal. He wants a huge raise. TJ Watt is making $21 million a year. He wants a raise. And when you look around the NFL, Ricky, the top edge rushers in the NFL are making over $30 million a year. Max Crosby makes $35.5 million.
You don't have the cash for it.
Hunter makes 35.6.
That's good. That's good. So he's on the record. You can't get him. Now, we would have loved for the Eagles today to acquire him. we would have loved that. But instead, here's what Shefty had to say on the morning show.
I don't think so. I would say no. I don't think that's practical. Now, sometimes you find opportunities that surface and you're like, let's see if we squeeze here, we squeeze there, we get this done. But knowing what I know from the past, conversations with various people at various points during the offseason, I would say no, that I don't see something like that happening. I think that they know all the big deals they have coming up, and I think their priority is to pay their own people, their homegrown talent, and reward it over time. And if you go trade for a player like Trey Hendrickson and pay him upwards of $30+ million a year, that really is disruptive to everything going on. Trey Hendrickson's an incredible player, led the league in sacks last year. You don't need me to tell you that. But I just don't see a move like that in the cards. Now, Jair Alexander, if the price are right, you're doing a one-year deal, whatever the number is, low number, with someone say, yeah, they could go make that work if that's what they wanted to do. But I have not heard them all of a sudden changing their plan, shifting their strategy, and going all in on a player like a Trey Hendrickson.
Damn! Shefty made Bill look good.
I know. It was really
That's
bothersome.
not what we wanted.
No. We were not looking for that today. I was listening to him yesterday. I was like, let's grab this. Again, not saying who was the one that leaked the audio to us that we were able to use for him. Because it was left for us. I will say that. There are people in this building leaving audio behind for us to react to with Bill.
Yeah. So, and you've already suggested who it might be.
I just threw out some names that are here consistently during the day when he's here. I'm not going to say that any of them could have done it. But there's a few folks that work around that program, around this station, that would help us out, or potentially help us out. Yeah, but that was brutal to listen to this morning. When I heard Shefty say that, I was like, oh, man, because I remember Bill was a big Myles Garrett guy, and I was going to start to say, well, whoa, is he starting to question whether or not how he can work his magic? And we would have had a whole fun bit with it, and then Schefter was like, you know what, let's just pour cold water on all your fun. So thanks a lot, Adam Schefter.
We continue to look for ammo against Bill, because basically that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not anything different than what we did when he was sitting in that chair.
Correct.
Yeah, now he just has to wait till 2 o'clock to defend himself.
Right. All right, so the Phillies play at 1-something, and here's their lineup today. Well, this is right after your own heart, Ray. Give me the Phillies lineup.
Turner?
Uh-huh.
Schwarber?
Turner leads off. Schwarber hitting the 2-hole.
Bohm,
correct, at 3.
Casty
is your cleanup hitter.
They're going to do is Ben Brown right hand. So Stott 5-hole?
Nope.
Oh, it's Kepler getting the promotion.
Kepler.
There we
in
go.
In the 5-hole after he hit a fly ball bomb last night.
Yeah, I don't know how that ball got out.
I don't know it either.
Yeah, hitting season.
Uh-huh.
All right, so Kepler in the 5-hole. 6, JT.
JT is 6.
So he's in the lineup today.
Yes, he is. How about that?
As soon as I said that.
Night game for a day game.
As soon as I said that, I got worried. All right, so JT 6, Stott 7.
By the way, guess where Bohm's playing today?
He's back at third.
Third base.
Because Otto Kemp's the first baseman.
Otto Kemp had a little bit of a problem yesterday at third base.
Oh, okay. I thought, he had a problem at third base. I thought you were going to say
there
problem
were a couple balls that Bohm would have gotten that Kemp did not. And I think they saw that, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, I think they had flirted with the idea of switching those two. I think after watching that, they were like, yeah, this is Bohm's job.
Yep.
So
Kemp is playing first base, hitting 8, and Rojas is your center fielder today because Marsh got hurt on that slide yesterday.
And hey, I've taken my shots at the guy. He was 2 for 2. He had the walk-off the other night. Tough time for him to get hurt.
Yeah. Well, they got my favorite player in the lineup tonight.
I know you're just
Johan Rojas, whose average has plunged at least 100 points.
Who could have ever seen that coming?
Yeah. 610-632-0975. We got B, we got Rohan, we got Greg, we got Joe. You guys hang in there. We'll get to the phone calls after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Cubs beat the Phillies. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Cubs beat the Phillies 8-4 last night. Mick Gable allowed 3 homers, struggled with his command, and only lasted 4 innings. His third start as a Philly. Taijuan Walker came in the bullpen, gave up a go-ahead home run in the loss. The Phillies' offense only mustered up 3 hits against the 5 relievers they saw in the game. Max Kepler did have a home run in the loss, but there's been a significant power outage for this Phillies team, and Rob Thompson talked about it post-game.
Yeah, a lot of singles. Yeah, I think it'll come. I think we're just going through a stretch where we're not getting the ball in the air. We're not hitting the gaps. It'll come. There's more power in this lineup than what we're showing right now.
In other news, Brandon Marsh left the game last night with left elbow soreness. He's not in the lineup for today. Aaron Nola suffered a setback in his quest to get back from the injured list. Carlos Hernandez earlier today was designated for assignment. Michael Mercado's been recalled from Lehigh Valley. The Phillies will look to win the series this afternoon against the Cubs at 1:05, sending Jesus Lazaro to the mound against Ben Brown. The Eagles had their sole mandatory minicamp practice yesterday and now dispersed until training camp July 22nd, the start date for that. Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. Live coverage of it here on The Fanatic begins at 7:30. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at MBUSA.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the NBA Finals. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
12:26, Mike Missanelli Show. I have not seen this band. This band's the hottest band in the world right now. Payne's DC. I have not seen them yet. All right, 610-632-0975. And this, of course, is the theme song for Mobland. That show on Showtime and Paramount Plus that everybody loved. The first season, 10 episodes.
I was very close to watching The Mortician.
Oh, you were?
I was.
I have not seen part 2 yet of The Mortician.
I think it's going to be a tomorrow night thing for me.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
All right, so you're intrigued enough to watch it, even though it's an upsetting subject.
Yeah, I'm not big on the upsetting subjects, but I'm gonna do it, just because I was very intrigued as to what's wrong with this guy.
You know, Undertakers have a special skill, and they have to be immune to human emotion. I think it would really be really tough for me to shove a body into a furnace.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. I don't do well with the whole death thing.
Who does? People do well with the death thing.
The Mortician, clearly.
Mortician, like that guy had no heart.
That's what I'm saying. I could not do that job.
Yeah, I know. A buddy of mine, I grew up in a town where one of my buddies' family owned a funeral home. And so when we go over his house and we play like hide and seek, my man would always hide in the room that had the bodies. That's a cruel kid, isn't it?
That's a real cruel kid.
It really is.
That's at the bodies.
We were reluctant to go in there, so he figured that's a great hiding place.
Yeah, that guy would never have lost to me.
He'd hide underneath like a rack that had the coffin on it.
Oh my God.
Well, what are you gonna do, man? My town, I swear to God, my little town had about 10 funeral homes. I could never explain it.
Yeah, what?
The competition was heavy for the dead body.
Do you really need for Bristol? How many people lived at Bristol?
There was like 10,000 people in Bristol. So there was a funeral home for every 1,000 people.
I guess. Jeez.
It was very weird. And like 3 of them were on the river. So it's like, what do they do with the bodies? Slide them into the river where I'm trying to catch catfish.
Oof.
Yeah.
Are you a catfisherman?
I used to fish for catfish.
Really?
Yep. Yeah,
well,
I'd sling a rod in there and grab a catfish every now and then.
Oh, very nice.
Release them.
Yeah. Not doing much with it.
Yeah, that's about all you could catch. You can catch carp, catch catfish.
Nice.
All right, 610-632-0975. Let's go back to the phones. We've got Rohan is checking in. What's up, Rohan?
Mike, what's going on, man?
How you doing? Good to speak to you.
I'm doing well, man. Hey, man, I used to email you back in the day, but I've been listening to you for a long time.
Well, you can still email me now. You know, still email me. Mike.miss.
I'm not a young man anymore.
Oh, all right. I got you.
I'm not a young man anymore. It's hard. But listen, Mike, first thing first, I got to shout out my mother-in-law. She loves you. I'll call you her ragazzo. So she's listening to you, so shout out to
Cindy. Tell her thank you. I appreciate that.
Listen, Mike, I'm done with the Phillies, man. I don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon, and I think we got to blow it up. This is the 4th straight year of the same thing over and over and over again, and unless something big changes, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, but you can't blow it up. You can't blow it up because they got these long-term contracts with guys. Now, let me ask you a question.
He's done after this year.
Cassidy's got one more year. Yeah. He's not done after this year. He's got one more.
All right.
So, and then you got, you can make changes in center field, left field. You may be able to trade Bohm in the offseason. I think that is a realistic possibility.
If we don't get a bona fide right-handed outfielder and somebody in the bullpen by the trade deadline, the season's cooked.
Yeah, I think you're right. I actually think you're right. I think they have to add to slide into the playoffs.
And we're going to have to get rid of people that we may not want to get rid of.
Well, let me ask you a question. Would you get rid of Schwarber? Because I wouldn't. There's no way I'm not bringing Schwarber back with. Yeah.
Me personally, no. No, I would not. But let's say we can get like a Vlad Guerrero or somebody else for Schwarber, I would think about it.
Yeah, but Schwarber's going to be a free agent, so you're not going to be able to trade him.
It'd probably be hard. I'm just saying. Like,
they're not going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to reach that high. I got to
But I agree,
sign
and I agree with you on what you said. A couple of days ago with Topper can go too.
Well, let's see. If they don't make the playoffs, I think he's in trouble because that would indicate maybe you need another voice.
For sure.
All right, bro. You ready for your general knowledge question?
Yeah, my wife is a huge Dave Matthews
Oh,
fan.
okay.
Yeah,
all right. Here it is.
I usually just listen. I don't usually call, so I'm doing it for her.
Okay, well, hopefully you qualify for her. Here is the question. Right. What famous guitar player called himself a voodoo child?
Oh, Jimi Hendrix.
You got it. Hold on a second. Jimi Hendrix is correct. We'll put you on hold here, Rohan. There it is. Jimmy, voodoo child, Hendrix. Did you know that, Ray?
Jimi Hendrix would have been the guess.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that was correct.
That would have been
so his wife qualifies. There you go. Rohan. Nice job.
Good for Rohan.
All right, let's go to Greg in Lancaster. This is not the Greg that you know. This is Greg from Lancaster, not from Bethlehem. Greg, what's happening? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I used to live in Bethlehem, but this is Greg from Lancaster. Before I get to my Jesus Luzardo point, I'd like to say that I've been to a lot of concerts, everything from Harry Connick Jr. to Black Sabbath to Nine Inch Nails to Tina Turner. But I've seen George Thorogood and his Delaware Destroyer like 10 or 11 times.
Whoa!
He's the best.
You're a Thorogood man.
I love me some Mr. Thorogood.
Wow.
He's awesome.
I'm sure that's a pretty good concert. I've never seen him, but I'm sure that was a pretty good concert.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't nothing fancy, no fancy light show, just kick butt rock and roll. It's fantastic.
Oh, but, that's cool. Yeah, that's a rockers concert, no question.
Yeah. Jesus Luzardo, what happens if he gets his butt kicked again today?
You know, that is a really good question. And this is like the curiosity of today's game because they think they've got it figured out that he was tipping pitches. If he gets mashed again, that's really a problem.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. Because then what is it?
You're right. And what it is that he's hit a wall innings-wise. Now, his velocity hasn't changed, but his command, I think, has changed a little bit. And maybe because he's reached, he only pitched 60 innings last year. He's now past that.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's a 162 game season.
I hear you. He's got you're right. If he is not the Luzardo that we're used to seeing with this Nola situation. Abel got banged around last night. And maybe they figured him out once they got some video on him. The rotation, which is the strongest part of this team, all of a sudden is not the strongest part.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden a question mark.
It is. It's weird.
Like, what are we getting today?
I hear you.
It's scary because we know what we're getting from the bullpen, and that's not good.
Yep. I got you, man. It's a good point. A good pull by you, Greg.
All
right, Greg. General knowledge question. Players who either played or didn't play with LeBron James.
All right, I got a 50-50 chance.
All right, let's go. Carmelo Anthony. Did he or did he not play ever with LeBron James?
Oh, man. I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no, and you would be incorrect because he did play with LeBron James. Sorry about that, Greg. Was that a lake show?
I believe that's a lake show as well.
That's a lake show. Yeah. He had a cup of coffee there with the lake.
Yeah, that was the very end.
Yeah, it was the very end.
The Thunder was a rough scene for him, and I think the Lakers was an even more rough scene.
You know, I was thinking of the weird concerts that I've seen. I remember this concert. It was this band from Italy. Now, there's a band from Italy that's really hot right now called Måneskin. I saw a band directly from Italy as an undercard to a big rock concert way back in the day. And they were called PFM. Right, see if you could do some research to see if I'm right, that I remember this correctly. PFM, they were a rock band directly from Italy that was on an undercard.
Yes.
Yes?
They recorded 5 albums with English lyrics between 1973 and 77. They're from Milan.
They're from Milan, PFM.
And they were the first group from Italy to have success internationally.
Look at that. How about that? I remember seeing it going, this band's not bad. I looked them up. They're from Italy.
They were the first group to introduce the synthesizer to the Italian musical world.
Look at that. Look at the PFMers. I don't even know what that stood for. It was something in Italian.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm not going to insult the Italian audience here by trying to pronounce this.
I am still looking for somebody who was at that Robin Trower concert where the guitar played by itself. I'm not crazy. 610-632.
No one calls you crazy.
0975. Did anybody verify this in the text board?
I have not found it on the text board.
Come on, man. Somebody was at that Robin Trower concert with a guitar played by itself. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Philadelphia Union Soccer. They play short here.
During the break. PFM is really in Italian. Premiata Forneria Marconi. And they played on the undercard at the Spectrum. Grand Funk Railroad was the main act. Oh, I forgot about Grand Funk Railroad. I love the Grand Funk Railroad. You never even heard of Grand Funk Railroad, right? Have you?
I would say no.
Getting closer
say no.
to my home. Grand Funk Railroad.
Do you want me to watch The Mortician or go down the Grand Funk Railroad rabbit hole?
Grand Funk Railroad, they're gone now. They're I think they're still alive. The guy, the front man for that guy, he was a great guitar player. What was his name? Mark Farner? I'm thinking Mark Farner was his name. Grand Funk Railroad. Is that who it was? You look up Grand Funk Railroad?
I'm looking him up right now. Don't you worry.
Is it Mark Farner?
Mark Farner. Yeah, Mark Farner.
Mark Farner.
Don Brewer.
There you go.
And Mel
Look at this.
Scatcher.
I can't believe I still remember that. Mark Farner. They had an album cover that had real eyes, like human eyes in an animated type of thing.
Look at them. Where are they from originally?
Grand Funk
Flint,
Railroad.
Michigan.
They're from Flint, Michigan?
Origin, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
The more you know.
All right, let me just introduce this baseball topic, and maybe we can talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. They asked 130 baseball players, what's the biggest misconception about the lifestyle of a baseball player? One National League pitcher said, quote, "Our life is awesome, but it's not as easy as people think it is. I don't know if fans realize that when we say we spend more time with our teammates than our families, we're not exaggerating. It's not even close. That's why I say if you want to be a good dad, a good husband, it's not easy." Another player said, "I haven't seen my mom on her birthday in 17 years. Little things like that matter to me. People are like, yeah, but you're getting paid. You're getting treated great. I've missed so many things for so many years, even before pro ball. Like I couldn't go to the prom because I had a baseball tourney, you know? It's just little sacrifices over the years that you never get back." Are you kidding me? Seriously, am I supposed to be broken up about this? Here's the solution. You don't have to miss those things at all. Just give up your profession. I don't have any sympathy for this at all. Am I some kind of cur?
So
it's the byproduct of your profession. Sometimes you're going to miss your mom's birthday. Would you trade places?
Yeah, the example used here of the prom really is a brutal one. Like, come on.
Traveling can be miserable. No, players don't have to worry about missing a connecting flight or checking the hotel room for bed bugs, but even with chartered planes and top shelf hotels, players said putting your life in a suitcase several times a month can be exhausting. Are you nuts? You got people carrying your luggage. You don't have to worry about a timetable. You don't have to worry about making your own reservations. Are you serious? I'm apoplectic. I am. I use that word a lot. This really makes me apoplectic. The aggravation, the exhausting part of traveling is for the everyday person who has to, A, find the flight, pay extra for seats, pay for luggage, go through the lines, the mayhem of a flight that's canceled. Are you nuts to bring that up?
Now, the other side of this one is they're going through the demanding rigors of the full athletic experience, and these flights aren't exactly regular during the day flights. This is, I'm leaving a town, getting to town late, waking up early to go to the ballpark, and doing this all from a random hotel room. That's not something that's necessarily what I'm used to.
Seriously, I have schlepped around to make baseball games my entire life, right? And like I put an undergarment on as I'm driving a car to get to a game. Like these guys, are you serious? Can be exhausting. Yeah, you get in at 1 a.m., you sleep in. You don't have to be at the ballpark until 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock the next day. Stop it. Stop it. Is it grueling? Yeah, it's grueling. You can trade places with every man anytime you want.
Oh, it's certainly better than the problems that we deal with every day. I'm not telling you that I'm crying for these people that are,
Oh, my God. They get in at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's terrible. It's awful. Oh, they got a post game eating spread, and they have to get their stuff and give it to the clubhouse attendant that could put it on a rack and load it for you. You don't have to bring one thing except your damn earpods on a plane.
I'm not saying that it's a totally different level of difficult and different level of world than what we're living in. There are some things I do sympathize with, of the going to every town. We leave at the ballpark at 11 o'clock with the suitcase that I'm going to take for the next week across the country.
Oh, my God. Your wife packs your luggage for a week trip. You don't even pack it. You wouldn't know what to pack. Guaranteed your wife is schlepping around packing your stuff. Come on, man. I got nothing. Let's get back to the phones. Let's go B in Westchester. B, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, B? Hold on a second. There he is. Right.
Yo, Mikey, man.
Go ahead, B. Can you imagine? It's exhausting. It's exhausting having to actually walk onto a plane, a chartered plane, with a beautiful first-class seat.
Yeah, they get all the best food.
Oh, my God.
They don't got to
Stop
pay
it.
time for anything.
It's ridiculous.
All the best, the trainers, the state-of-the-art fitness facility.
I think I want a massage. Hey, Clubby, can you get the masseuse in here? I'm a little sore. Stop it.
Now, are they comparing it to other professional athletes, though? Because an argument can be made that it is a more grueling season.
It is, but listen to me, man. You know how the sweat and toil of other practices compared to baseball? And I'm talking about, I've played a lot of baseball in my life, believe me. I know it was easier than a lot of other sports where you actually have to collide with people on a field. You have to get your stamina going end to end on a basketball floor. You have to have these grueling hockey practices. Come on, man.
Yeah, I think if I were good enough to be a pro athlete, which I'm not at all, anywhere close to that, I remember as a kid we were thinking that baseball carries probably the least injury risk, which sounds kind of odd. Because, I mean, guys do get hurt and whatnot. But I think that's part of that whole equation.
I get it. There's a lot of games, and the travel is tough, and you go from game to game. I get that part of it. But don't give me it's exhausting. You get your sleep. You get the best training possible. You don't have to lift a finger. Enough. What do you got on Saquon today, B? What do you got on Saquon?
Well, real quick though on the Phillies. Do you like Schwarber in the 2-hole?
I don't know. Wherever they experiment with so many lineups. I guess Trey Turner's hot. He gets on. Schwarber, but Schwarber's struggling right now. So I don't know what's going on here. I'm okay with him in any spot. I'm okay. From 2 to 4, I'm good with him. And even if they want to lead him off. But I think they've settled on Turner right now.
I'm all right with Turner leading off, but then it's counterintuitive. If Turner's going to try to run or be a running threat or steal a base, I mean, you're potentially taking the bat out of Schwarber's hand in a big spot. I mean, that's the only thing that I think's kind of odd about that.
I don't know. I mean, early on, you steal it early on in the count. He's pretty selective anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Ray, I owe you a couple general knowledge questions, don't I?
Yeah,
I do. All right, so I'm fast forwarding here. Are we back to general knowledge for B?
I believe so.
All right, B, we're back to general knowledge for you. No, we just gave the guy got Jimi Hendrix, right? That guy got Jimi Hendrix.
I guess went Carmelo Anthony, then Jimi Hendrix. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are in movie characters. All right, we're on movie characters. B, you know your movie characters?
All right.
Yeah?
The hot and cold.
Hot and cold. All right, here we go. The movie character is Teddy KGB, and it was played by John Malkovich.
Yeah, that's not.
I think you know. I think you know this one. I think you know it.
I don't think I've seen it, Mike.
Oh, you have seen it. It's Rounders. You never seen Rounders? You're out?
No, is that a violation?
It's a total violation not to see Rounders. That's Matt Damon. Matt Damon, brother, come on.
I've seen it.
All right. He didn't see it. What are you going to do? All right. He's dead. He's out. All right, Ray. I got 3 for you on the other side, right? We're 3 behind on you?
Yeah.
All right. You can put it away. It's 3-3 right now. You could put it away with 2 of 3. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Cubs beat the Phillies. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Cubs beat the Phillies 8-4 last night. Mick Abel allowed 3 home runs. Struggled with his command. Only lasted 4 innings in his third start as a Philly. Taijuan Walker gave up the go-ahead home run in the loss. Phillies back in action today as Jesus Luzardo taking the mound for the Phils. A 105 start against the Cubs. Ben Brown taking the mound for Chicago. Plenty of Phillies news over the last 24 hours. Brandon Marsh left the game last night with left elbow soreness. He is not in the lineup for this afternoon's game against the Cubs. Aaron Nola suffered a setback in his quest to get back from the injured list. He now has a stress reaction in his rib, so he may not throw until following the All-Star break. And may not be back until after the All-Star break. Carlos Hernandez designated for assignment, and Michael Mercado recalled from AAA Lehigh Valley. Eagles had their sole mandatory minicamp practice yesterday, now dispersed until training camp. Training camp get going July 22nd for the Birds. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight. We'll have live coverage of that one here and the live call of it right here on the Fanatic 7:30. That starts here on 97.5. This update is brought to you by AAA Tire and Auto Service. Come to your local AAA Tire and Auto Service location and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Offer valid through June 30th. Details at AAA.com/mycar. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA Finals action. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
These movie characters. He's the one that gave me all these movie characters in a list, and he shows up with some great food from Cosby's. I couldn't wolf down a cheesesteak during the break. So
yeah, I'm not able to finish the entire sandwich in the break, but
it's tantalizing
to
have a side piece of food here when you can't eat it.
Yeah, it's kind of soul crushing here.
It is.
But I've already gotten 2 bites in this sandwich.
Yeah,
And,
good for you.
I'm loving it.
All right, Ray, I got 3 for you. First of all, did this person play with LeBron James or not? Let's go with Derrick Rose.
Yes, he
did play. He did play with LeBron. Ray takes a 4-3 lead. All right, Ray.
I believe that was Cleveland.
Cleveland. That is correct. All right, let's go to the general knowledge. What instrument is like a trumpet but doesn't have any valves to change the pitch? What is it called?
I think I'm going to say it wrong. But would it be a bugle?
It is a bugle. Ray on fire.
I feel like I only know that from cartoons.
The Kentucky Derby.
Oh, that too. Yeah, obviously. That'd be the more adult answer to that. Yeah.
And a lot of national anthems are played with a bugle.
Yeah, so a lot more adult answers than I think they had those in cartoons I watched when I was younger.
All right, now this is your bugaboo here, the movie characters. Let's see if we can go with Long Duck Dong. Long Duck Dong, starring Molly Ringwald. This movie. You're out.
I'm out.
16 Candles.
Nope.
You didn't have that one.
Did not have that one.
All right, well, you have gone ahead of the audience by 2.
I like the sound of that. That was,
all right.
If I could just get the ones that are not the movies, I'm in a good spot. It's just every week the movies trip me up.
You know some of these movies. Like, I'm not trying to stump you here.
No, yeah, Jerry Maguire earlier was just just a terrible miss by me. It wasn't. You weren't trying to stump me up. I'm getting yelled at now. My mom's a big 16 Candles fan.
Ah, see that? 16 Candles was a classic movie.
I'll add it to the list.
Yeah, the 16 Candles was about the premise of they were getting ready for a wedding for her older sister, and they forgot it was her birthday. They forgot her sweet 16th birthday.
Ah, see?
And that was all the mayhem that ensues from that.
That's unfortunate. I feel for her.
All right. You're listening to Mike Missanelli Show. It's 97.5 The Fanatic. It's WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia. Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. A pair of tickets to see Dave Matthews Band is the prize today for general knowledge. So if you get a question correctly, you will qualify for that at the end of the show. But right now, the audience has to catch up with Ray because they're losing 5-3. Let's go back to the phones and talk to, where are we going here? Are we going with Nick and Briarcliff? What happened? What, he's got an X there. What does that mean? Oh, he's done. Oh, okay. Let's go to Brian in Hamilton. Brian, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Brian? Brian?
Hello.
Hello, bud. How you doing?
Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Brian in Abington.
Oh, in Abington. Okay. Brian in Abington. We got you. Not Hamilton, Abington.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment about the Phillies rotation and talk about your supermarket conversation yesterday.
Okay, yes.
But then you threw out the
baseball
comment
thing?
about the professional athletes complaining.
Yeah,
and
the
I was
baseball
like,
players,
you know,
not professional, just baseball players.
Oh, just baseball players.
Yeah, they're
right.
just baseball
Okay.
players.
All right. Well, I mean, which is probably probably the worst people that should be complaining too. So it really threw me off. I think Luzardo today shows up. I think he has a great outing. He's going to have to keep it over the plate because they don't strike out. They don't strike out a lot. They'll make contact, but they have great eyes. Like the Cubs, I think they're like the third least team that strikes out. So I mean, it's going to be a battle. He's going to, throw it over. He's going to get hit a lot. Get hit, but just hopefully,
Yeah, listen, the Cubs are pretty good. They're pretty good.
No, the Cubs are good.
I like that team. In fact, we talked about it a little earlier. Would you trade the Cubs right now for the Phillies? Would you trade that team for the Cubs? The Phillies team as it currently exists. Would you take your chance with the Cubs? Because then you got the future as well.
They have a lot of young guys. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. You got it.
Crow Armstrong guy.
Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete Crow Armstrong had a little bit of have you watched the game last night?
Yep.
He had a little bit of a red ass when he got a bad call on a strike, and then he hit into a double play or he grounded out, and he yelled at the umpire. That pitch was low. I don't think I like that.
Well, I mean, I don't like it either. But you gotta be feeling yourself when you're that young and you feel like you can just say whatever you want. So
that's
pretty good.
No, you're right about that. You're right. All right, man. You want a general knowledge question?
Let me tell you the supermarket thing.
Oh, okay. Give me the supermarket.
Thing.
Give me supermarket.
Real quick.
Yeah.
That it's the supermarket is the last bastion of humanity and morality. So if you're walking, first of all, if you have over 20 items, and I agree 1,000%, and there's a problem. If you go into the self-checkout, there's other issues that you have. And also, the biggest thing is if you don't, you can watch people and you kind of see the kind of people they are. If you don't return your cart to either inside the store or in one of the little cart corrals, you have some mental issues. That's a real problem.
No, it means you're a lazy ass, is what that means if you don't return.
Well,
that's what it means. You're just a lazy ass. You don't want to walk 20 feet.
There's other underlying issues, or when they prop it up against.
The pole. The pole. Yeah, there's a little pole there. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
all right, man. All right, Nikki, here's your general knowledge question. In what city would you find Gorky Park?
Moscow.
Correct. Oh, what a poll. All right, hold on a second. That's Brian with a correct answer. He closes the gap a little bit. Moscow, he goes.
That was incredible. That was really impressive.
That's a good poll by him. All right. Ray, complete the analogy. Mrs. is to Frau as Mr. is to blank.
What?
Mrs. are called Fraus. Misters are called what? This is a German thing.
Yeah, I got no clue.
No, you don't have any clue.
I'm not even a render out a dumb guess.
Herr, Herr, or
Herr.
Her, as in Hearst potato chips.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they say Mr. That's Herr, Mr. and Frau is Mrs.
Yeah, no idea.
Didn't know that one, huh?
Did not take German.
All right, well, guess what? The audience is creeping.
Right there.
It's creeping.
Right there for the taking.
That is correct. All right, let me get back to this story here on the Major League Baseball players. They are now saying, here's a quote. People ask what time I get here, and I tell them 1 p.m. They're shocked. Oh, my God. They show up at 1 p.m. for a 7 o'clock game? That's terrible. That's so terrible. Oh, my God. We get here at noon, said one American League pitcher. We practice before. Everyone has its own routine. Weightlifting, throwing. We get to the field way before the first pitch. They think we just show up and play the game. Oh, man. What are we doing here? What are we talking about? Is it a hard shift that you got to work? Everybody else in America has to do an 8-hour shift. So a baseball player shows up at 1 o'clock to play a baseball game and leaves the park at 10. That's 9 hours.
Think they're out there by 10?
10:30. Just say it's 10 hours. It's a 10-hour day. They're playing baseball. It's not hard labor.
I mean, it's pretty difficult to hit a baseball.
Listen, the skill level, I'm not saying about the skill level. The exhaustion level, people work 8-hour shifts with a half hour for lunch. Come on, man.
It's a game. I got you. It's a I think in the article it says they realize that they have a privilege of doing what they do.
Yeah, meanwhile, they still complain. People don't understand the hardship.
Mike,
we fly on charter flights and our luggage is carried, and we don't have to make arrangements. But it's such a hardship; it's exhausting.
I like to think I've got a privilege to do what I do doing this. I still complain. We're humans. That's our nature.
You come in 2 hours early. You do your prep work. You stay through the show. You stay afterwards.
Yeah, I have a great schedule. I'm not saying my schedule's better than most of America's.
National League player. They think we just show up and play the game. But they really don't see the work that goes in the hours before. Going over scouting reports, hitters meetings, base running meetings, doing your full warm-up routine. Go to BP, chill for a second, and then get it going again to play a game. And then after the game, you get a lift in, you talk to the media, you go get dinner, you see your family. It's a full-day thing. Yeah, it really is. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
We want to hear from you.
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. Fanatic Deal of the Week. Pretty good one. 80 Steel Pier ride tickets for just $42.50. That is half price. Take advantage of huge summer savings for the Steel Pier, Atlantic City's Boardwalk's premier amusement destination. This exclusive offer is available while supplies last on our website, 975thefanatic.com/deals. And again, today, a pair of tickets to see Dave Matthews Band, Friday, July 25th at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. All you have to do is answer a general knowledge question correctly today. We've been all over the map. The Phillies are underway, I believe. We'll give you updates on that game. Yesterday, not so fortunate with Mick Abel. His command was a little down. He gave up 3 really long home runs. And you wonder if that hurt or helped his trade value in this situation. Did Phillies have to keep him now with the Aaron Nola situation and his stress reaction with the rib? I don't know, man. If that rotation falls apart, and today it's very important with Jesus Luzardo to bounce back, because if he's not bouncing back, then they've got some real problems here, because the starting pitching is what's going to carry them to the playoffs. So yesterday, Ray, my new favorite player on the Cubs hit a home run to center field to make it 1-0. The man, Dansby Swanson is my new favorite player since he respects my knowledge of the game. You know where Dansby Swanson went to college?
Vanderbilt?
That's correct. That's a good pull by you.
I won't pretend like I wasn't on his baseball reference page earlier today.
Oh, you were on his baseball reference page.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
yeah, he's a Vandy guy.
Yeah. I was trying to go through and see if my only guess was going to be the correct guess, but come on. That was the most likely connection I could draw.
Yeah, no, you because he was a Brave.
Mm-hmm.
That's
that's
the Kincade connection.
Yeah.
The Atlanta connection.
I do like the fact that he comes into town and he's like, let me check out what Kincaid's up to.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then he stuck through to us.
He stuck through it. He listened to our show.
A lot of people are saying we're the place to be for baseball conversation.
There you go. All right, let's get back to the phones here. And is Nick back with us? All right, Nick, you hang in there. We'll get to you in a second. Joe in Norwood's checking in. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joe.
Mike.
Hello, Joe.
Hour and a half on hold. I called the other day.
Oh, sorry, man. You were on hold an hour and a half? Really?
Yeah, last time I called the other day, it was probably 10 minutes.
I apologize,
okay.
man. We're very busy today. Sorry.
I could tell. Yeah, I'm listening. Did you clean your phone, first of all?
I did.
Did it work?
Thank you for it. It did work. I get a little alcohol in there with a little gauze pad and a toothpick. You hooked me up, brother.
You found the gauze pad. No cotton ball.
No cotton ball. I had a little gauze. Here it is right here. It's beautiful. This phone's still pristine.
Okay, ready? Real quick. I don't want to hold you up. You're busy. The bugle also used for taps. Right?
Oh, it's da, 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 da. Actually, I played trumpet earlier, and trumpet, you could play taps on a trumpet without moving a valve. You just move your mouth.
Just all.
Yeah, with a different tone with the mouth. You didn't know I was a trumpet player.
All right, ready?
I also was a trumpet player.
Yeah, were you really?
Very short-lived.
How about that? All right, Joe, what else you got?
All right, I got concert info for you.
Okay, concert info.
And it's uncanny.
What do you got?
Robin Trower.
Tell me you were at that concert.
Is at the Keswick. It's at the Keswick.
I see. I can't.
Sunday.
I can't see him now. I can't. Like,
wanted to see if
Robin Trower was in my rock heyday, man. I can't go see him now. I got no interest in that right now.
But if you wanted to see the guitar play itself.
Well, you think he's still doing that at his age? We're talking about the drug-addled world of the 70s back then.
And your other band, Emerson, Lake
and Palmer. They blew.
They're coming to the Keswick too later in the year.
Oh, one of them died though.
Yeah,
I think Palmer died.
Suicide, something like that.
Oh, was it suicide?
And then
man, that's a shame.
It might be. The man is still going. I've been to shows last year, and Billy Idol, he's still alive.
I know he's still alive. He's in a commercial. He's in a new commercial I saw. Yeah.
He's coming with Joan, I believe, and the Blackhearts on August 16th.
That's a throwback. Yeah, see, I wouldn't see that concert.
Still great. Great inside under the hood.
That's awesome.
It is.
All right, man. You want a general knowledge question?
Yeah, I had one more DB or not. Can
Oh,
you do
okay.
it?
What's that? Go ahead.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
The guys with the trucks, right, the pickups,
Yeah.
and they have the scrotum hanging with the testicles in it from the trailer.
I know. What's up with that? Come on,
Is that
man.
DB or not?
That's total DB. That's
What
a
does that
total
symbolize,
DB.
anyway?
Total. That's a good pull by you, bro. All right, let's go with the general knowledge question here. All
right.
What country's population peaked at around 128 million in the year 2010? 128 million. What country? It can only be one of two.
Yeah.
And it's not India. It's not India.
Yeah. Did you say million or billion?
Million. 128 million.
I'm going to say, I don't know, United States.
No, not the United States. Sorry, brother. Japan.
All right, thanks.
Japan. Is
Japan. Okay. It couldn't have been China. They're in the billions. Right?
Yeah. No, you're right. Japan, 128 million. All right.
Wow.
That's a lot.
128.
It's a lot for a smaller country.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was trying to think of what would be shockingly
that's a smaller,
that dense.
It's a smaller country.
Yeah, dense
very,
population.
Very dense. That's why they have those tiny apartments. They're all over the place.
I want to go to Japan
Do you?
badly.
Really?
I want to go to a baseball game in Japan very badly.
Ah, okay.
I think it'd be quite the experience.
Yeah. My buddy Jeff Manto played in Japan and got a bundle of money up front.
Really?
And he went 3 for 27, and they released him.
Hey, at least he got the upfront money.
He got 27 at bats to get it together. They had no joke over there.
No, they don't have the you wait till Memorial Day. They don't do the relax, it's early conversation.
No, the owner called him in and said, "You're done." He goes, "All right, I got the millions. I'm good." He came back to the States, played with the Boston Red Sox the next week. 610,
Really?
yes.
How'd he do it with the Red Sox?
He got signed by the Red. He got released from Japan, came over. The Red Sox picked him up. He played shortstop in a game. The shortstop was out. They put him at shortstop. He made an error. He said, I had to account for it. He said, I took the heat after the game. And they loved me after that.
Wow.
610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Cubs beat the Phillies. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. Cubs beat the Phillies 8-4 last night. Mick Gable had 3 home runs. Struggled with this command. Only lasted 4 innings in his third start as a Philly. The Phils back in action today against the Cubs now as last night, Taijuan Walker let go ahead a home run, and the Phillies, again, just struggling to get anything really going offensively. The bullpen didn't look great, and we got plenty of news in Phillies land over the last 24 hours leading into this afternoon's game. Brandon Marsh left the game last night with left elbow soreness, and he is not in the lineup for today. Aaron Nola suffered a setback as he tries to get back from the injured list. Carlos Hernandez was designated for assignment. Michael Mercado back with the big club, and again, the Phillies sending Jesus Luzardo out to the mound this afternoon against Ben Brown for the Cubs. The Eagles had their sole mandatory minicamp practice yesterday, now dispersed until training camp July 22nd, the date to circle for when that gets started for the Birds. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight. You can listen to it with live coverage beginning at 7:30 right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by AAA Tire and Auto Service. Come to your local AAA Tire and Auto Service location and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Offer valid through June 30th. Details at AAA.com/mycar. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA Finals action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Running in today's game, folks. Playing a little small ball and also a big RBI double. Here's how the first inning was shaped. Trey Turner leading off, singles to left. Schwarber walks. They're being overly careful with Schwarbs. Double steal. Turner steals third. Schwarber follows, safe at second base. Bohm grounds out to third. Turner scores. The infield was back. Castellanos struck out, but the man who hit a home run last night, Max Kepler, double to center. It's 2-0 Phillies, and they're still up.
Love it.
Or are they out?
No, they're still up.
They're still up?
Still up.
There you go. 2-0 for your fighting Phils. All right, Ray, I believe I owe you a general knowledge question. And then we'll get to our calls, 610-632-0975, and also get to Nick Sirianni, who we haven't played a lot of today, but he spoke yesterday and said some interesting things. What is, Ray, the second largest object that orbits the Earth?
Second largest object
that orbits the Earth.
International Space Station.
That is correct. Oh, Ray, you're putting them away today.
Yeah, it's a tough look for the audience. They had a good run, though.
With a 2-goal lead here. What is it? 6-4 or 7-5?
Would be, yeah.
It's 6-4 Ray right now.
6-4.
All right, 610-632-0975. All right, yesterday. A lot of the key people for the Eagles spoke, including Saquon Barkley, including Jalen Hurts, and also the head coach, Nick Sirianni. So he was asked a very interesting question. Sustaining success after a Super Bowl win. A lot of teams have that drop-off. Here's what Nick had to say about it.
Yeah, and that was my, the sustain. Really, I focused on sustained success, right? What were the common denominators of different coaches that I talked to, or players that I talked to, or Michael Johnson, other sports that that we talked to. That what were the common denominators of sustained success? And I think, without getting into everything, I think there's two sides of it. The main thing is it takes what it takes, right? You're going to have to be able to work extremely hard, and you're going to have to be able to overcome adversity. And you always have to be right in the moment of where you are. I think, as I've done research and talked to these guys, and we've had an element of sustained success here as well. But you can have two ends of it, right? You rest on your laurels, you rest on your past accomplishments, and you're not here working, or you're looking too far ahead of how do we do this again. Like, we're focused on our process and how we get better every single day. And, if your process is right, then it gives you the best chance to win. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win, but it gives you the best chance to win. And so our goal is just to focus, and it's to focus on where we are at this particular moment, to put the work in, to overcome the adversity, and the rest will take care of itself.
Look at that. You talk about a general statement right there. That's Nick. Sustaining success after the Super Bowl. Even talking to Michael Johnson, the great hurdler, about it.
There was one line in there that sticks out.
What's that?
Where he talks about there's two ends of the spectrum, resting on your laurels or looking too far ahead. Mm-hmm. In 2023, I think they look too far ahead. I think what they got in their mind so much after losing it about getting back there, what it took to get back there, that everything was pretty much geared up. Like, there just seemed like a very tightly wound group that was looking to prove that it wasn't a Super Bowl loser, it was a Super Bowl winner. And that, I think, played into what we saw, how that season ended. The other end of this is what you've been fearful of when it comes to Saquon Barkley, what you've been fearful of when it comes to Cooper DeJean, and just the fact that these guys have been everywhere, where it's like, hey, we won it. This is awesome. Let's enjoy it. And you enjoy it too much. The only person I could see in the camp of being too tightly wound is the quarterback, because I don't think he's been, maybe A.J. Brown, because he said he didn't enjoy it. Some of these guys fall into that camp. But how much are you concerned about that resting on the laurels thing, given what you've said about Saquon, given what you've said about Cooper DeJean?
I don't like it. I think you got to get right back to the grindstone. I don't like the over celebration.
And you feel like you've seen a number of them do that.
I think you should stay miserable and then not celebrate. Really, it's like if you want to, look ahead and you want to defend something. I don't know about the celebration part of it. I think that you take the accolades, you take it with a grain of salt, and then you just keep going. I don't like the we're great. I don't like the smelling yourself type of thing.
Fair.
You have a tendency to smell yourself. It's like, no, stay miserable. That's the way I say. All right. Ray, I'm trying to see if you can handle this question. But you don't get one until after our next caller, right?
That's correct.
All right. So our next caller is Nick from Briarcliff. He's been hanging for a while. We lost him at one point. Nick, how you doing? Thanks for hanging in there.
Good afternoon, Ray. Good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon, Nick.
Yeah, I got a quick Robin Trowler story for you. A buddy of mine, Pat the Roofer, is probably about 66 years old, and he's seen him a dozen times.
Pat
and
the
to
Roofer?
This day, he tells me stories. Yeah, Pat the Roofer. And he tells me stories about that guitar playing and stuff, but he's sort of not sure if it was maybe something he took before the show.
Oh, see, that's what I'm trying to confirm. So he did see the guitar playing by itself. I need somebody who was straight to tell me that happened.
Well, he's not that guy.
I'm telling you, the guitar played by itself. I wasn't overly high where I wouldn't recognize something like that, man.
Yeah,
but I need somebody to verify. Somebody, come on, there's got to be somebody who was at that concert.
Has to be. Yeah. And then a quick Phillies thing. I was talking to a guy last night about. And I'm going to get your opinion on it because I, appreciate your knowledge. How come the Phillies cannot grow an outfielder?
I don't know.
Like if you think about it, who was the last one that homegrown? Would have been Burrell, and that was 15-some years ago. And before that, I wouldn't even be able to tell you.
I got one for you. Aaron Altair. Remember him? Remember Aaron?
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Aaron Altair.
I remember all the swings and misses.
Yeah, he was homegrown. They thought he was going to be a good player. I actually thought he had a good swing. I never figured out why he wasn't any good. But, yeah, they haven't developed outfielders. And this is why, Justin Crawford is so important to this whole equation.
I mean, they have to hit on him, or it goes back to, Burrow. And before that, I couldn't even – maybe it was Lazinski, because it seems like they get all their outfield, any good outfielders from, free agency with, Dykstra or Rowan or,
I'll give him credit on Burrow. He was actually a
Maybe Abreu. I'm overlooking that.
No, they didn't develop him. They traded for him. He was out of the Houston organization.
I thought so.
Yeah. Burrow's a good call. They drafted him as a third baseman, actually, and they moved him to the outfield.
They did to Miami.
Yeah, so
yeah.
That's a good call by you. All right, brother, here's your general knowledge question. This person either did play or did not play with LeBron James. So let's go with Russell Westbrook.
Let's see.
Russell Westbrook. Did he play with LeBron James or not?
I believe he did. You
believe he did? That's correct. Hold on a second. There's another winner. That's 5, Ray. It's 6-5. Ray? Julius Randle.
Did Julius Randle play with LeBron James? I'm trying to think. The end of the Lakers rebuild to the beginning of the LeBron James era. I will say yes, he did.
He did not play with LeBron James. Julius Randle did not play with LeBron.
In the Anthony Davis trade?
They moved him before they got LeBron, I guess.
Of course, when you look up Anthony Davis trade now, the Anthony Davis trade's not the Anthony Davis trade; it's the Luka trade.
Yeah.
I don't think he went to go to New Orleans. Where did he end up post Lakers?
Julius?
Yeah, Julius.
Oh. Did he go to the Knicks after that?
Was it straight to the Knicks?
Yeah, there was a question about his career. He was a failure in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything in L.A.
No, he did not do much in L.A. That's a tough one, though, because I wanted to say no, but I felt like the timelines lined up here, and he was signed as a free agent by the Pelicans in 2018. So I guess as LeBron shows up, he's on the way out, because the 2018 summer was also the summer of LeBron, if I'm not mistaken.
The Pelicans.
And they spent 1 year with the Pelicans, ended up with the Knicks.
All right, I got to hear one more, Nick Sirianni. I love this. The team is still humble and hungry. I like that coach speak. That's Nick Sirianni 3.
The way I visioned or saw him attack last offseason. That's what's great about this football team is, you see the same humbleness and the hunger that I saw going into the last season, and that's, Saquon, that's all the players on this football team. They're working, and we've had a good offseason.
The humbleness and the hunger.
It's interesting, though.
H&H.
That question was about Saquon and about whether he attacked the offseason the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you got.
The way I visioned or saw him attack last offseason.
Which is not what Saquon told you about his offseason.
Saquon said he took a step back. See, the coach doesn't want to admit that.
Man,
coach does not want to reveal that or admit that.
He just loves his guys.
So much good. Dog mentality.
He just rides for them,
He really does.
It's incredible.
Oh, man. On the other side, more of the greatest that Nick hits. And I got to throw another Jalen in there, Comfort in progress. Jalen Hurts. Love it. I love these quotes. 610-632-0975. You want to climb in. Here's the situation. The audience is one right answer away from tying Ray, who has at one point had a 3-point lead in this game.
I'm not worried.
And guess what's next? Movie question. Oh, Ray. The audience can find itself in a tie. 610-632-0975. We're back after this.
Andrew Salciunas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 1:40, Mike Missanelli Show. We'll get back to the text board in a second. The Phillies are up 3-0, taking control of this game early, and Luzardo is on the hill. So they staked him to a 3-0 lead. Let's see how he pitches. He got a couple strikeouts in the first inning. So far, so good. Let's get back to the text board. What are they saying?
We got a texter asking, Mike, why haven't the Phillies tried to sign David Robertson? He's out there, was pretty good last year. He's also better than what we got.
Yeah, I don't know if he is. He's pretty beat at this point.
Well, I'd go do it. I don't think he wants to sign with anyone, though. Right now, at least.
He's his own agent, that guy.
And he won apparently $15 million this offseason.
He did?
Yeah. That's why no one signed him.
Yeah, but I think he's lost a little of his effectiveness now.
He was solid last year. Pitched with 3 ERA.
Yeah.
I mean, if it comes down to putting him in the game or Taiwan in a high leverage spot.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there. What else they saying on the text board?
A lot of people wanted to clarify what Myles Garrett meant. Apparently Halloween time decorates his front yard as a graveyard, and the tombstones are all quarterbacks that he's sacked in his career.
Oh, okay.
He has
There you
never.
go. See, that's local knowledge.
Yeah, he has never sacked Aaron Rodgers. He's only played him once, so that's what he wants out of that. We got a text of someone guessed, by the way, the baseball player that was impressed with your baseball knowledge, which was good for that
really?
particular texter.
They got Dansby?
They did get Dansby.
Uh-huh.
And then we got some of the number of performances here. JJ from Cherry Hill, 110 Dave Matthews Band shows since he was 17.
God, what is it about Dave Matthews that pulls people in? You can explain the Dave thing to me. I mean, they're pretty good musically. I mean, they have a really tight, big band, I guess. But I don't know. For some reason, his voice doesn't get me. It's like the guy from The Killers. He doesn't get me either.
Really?
Yeah, the voice says keeps me away.
I would probably go. I mean, I like these are like Dave Matthews falls under the category of if I got invited to it,
Yeah.
I don't think I'd turn down the ticket.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd buy the ticket myself.
I think I was dating somebody at the time who was a big Dave Matthews fan, so I got pulled to the concert. Like it's something I would not go to normally.
Yeah, I was wondering as you were going through concerts, how many of the like some of the ones that you didn't choose, how many would be well, you know, so and so want to go see it or you know.
I don't know. I just kind of go by like what interests me at the time.
Right.
You know, I never plan ahead. Oh, I have to see this band.
Yeah, I don't think there's really been anyone that I've been like I mean there's one I got to go to this Kendrick tour, which is what I wanted to do. Other than that, there hasn't been like I need to see it. It's usually like a friend like, you want to go see this concert? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. All right, let me get back to this baseball story, and then we'll get back to Nick Sirianni. Let's see. One American League hitter said, here's the reason why we don't sign many autographs. When we don't sign autographs after batting practice, people think we are arrogant with our time, but our time is very limited during batting practice. All right, I'll buy that. I don't think you have to sign autographs. I'm okay with that. Let's see. Because the day begins long before the television broadcast starts, one National League pitcher said that could explain why fans question a team's effort during a losing streak. Sometimes when it goes bad, they don't have the empathy because they don't see the work we're putting in behind the scenes. All right, then that's fair too. Nobody wants to not be successful in the batter's box. No pitcher wants to give up bombs. No player wants to make errors. All that stuff happens. You're putting in enough work where you try to prevent that stuff from happening. But again, it's baseball. So I understand that part of it. I don't understand I've missed my mother's birthday for 17 years because I had to play professional baseball. Well, that's the price you pay. Now, let me go into these facts and figures about what's the minimum salary. Because there's another thing. A lot of people think we make a lot of money, and that's sometimes not the case. What's the minimum salary? $760,000. Now you try relating that to the everyman. Like $760,000 is a lot of freaking money. You can live off of that. The median salary in Major League Baseball is more than $5 million.
I will say, judging them by the median, I think is a little skewed. Because I do think this starts to funnel closer to a 1% situation than it does.
Because the guys that make $40 million, I get it. But even at the major league minimum, like Otto Kemp comes up and is getting paid at that rate now.
Right. So what? For 2 weeks in the bigs, he gets $30,000.
Whatever you prorate that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If he sticks for the rest of the year, who knows? He's going to make that kind of money on a contract. Now, that's a lot of money for people. So you can't expect that people are going to relate to that. Well, a lot of people think we make millions, and that's not the case. Well, okay, that's not the case because you haven't gotten to that level yet. But if you get to that level, you're certainly going to make that. In the meantime, here, take this $760K.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying about but it's not $760K for sure. Like you have to make it the whole year to get the whole $760K.
Yeah, okay, but you're getting paid at that rate.
I understand. I think some people believe that once you hit that big league level, that like you have generational wealth forever. Mm-hmm. And I think I also think this article's done more for me in realizing what the disconnect is between baseball players and the way they're perceived. Because some of the things that they're worried about here, maybe the general public does believe it. I never thought that you just make the bigs and you're set for life. Like it's just like in football, it's like it's getting that second contract. Basketball, it's getting that second contract. That's the one that makes you set up.
Yeah, I have great empathy for baseball players because I think it's a really hard profession. So I'm not trying to diminish this whole thing. What I'm saying is like when you go they go a lot of people think this game is freaking easy. Everybody complains about what might seem like the simplest task, but in our world, it's one of the hardest things to do in sports. Well, yes, it is, and I have great empathy for that. I understand it's one of the hardest things to do in sports, but don't give me the travel is exhausting. You can't give me that. Give me that baseball's hard, and people take it for granted sometimes, and they bitch and moan when players are trying to get a hit and they don't succeed, and they boo them. I get all that. That's totally out of line. But by the same token, don't tell me about how hard your life is because you get in at 1 a.m. and because you have to ride on a charter flight. That's where I draw the line. You're not feeling it, are you?
It's not that I'm not feeling it. Like I think I just have more empathy to the travel schedule than you do.
All right.
Like I understand what you're saying about all the luxuries that they have.
This is the price of business. It's like a traveling salesman who has to be on the road 3 days a week. He's schlepping around. He's got to make his own day. He's getting delays. He's getting canceled. Like, to me, that's stressful. What these guys are traveling is not stressful. It's just not.
No, I mean, it's nothing compared to having to make your connecting flight in one city.
When you talk about that, you gotta put that in the equation. Will this come off wrong to people who really have to work and grind it out for a living and make their own plane reservations and have to carry their own bags and schlep it on the plane and stuff it in the overhead? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, there's a disconnect there for sure.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that kind of disconnect.
Yeah, I understand where you come from in that.
All right, let's get back to the phones. We got Weave checking in. Weave in Philly. What's up, Weave? What's going on?
Yo, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
What do you think, man? What do you think?
What do you mean? What do I
They got Luzardo in there now,
yeah,
right?
They're up, right?
I mean,
what is it, 3-0?
Yeah, and
we'll see how he does with the lead.
I mean, how about the game last night?
Well, what about the game last night? They gave up too many home runs. Yeah,
not that. I wouldn't say that. I would say that they need to start with their lineup.
What's the matter
I know it's hard to have a lineup.
What's the matter with their lineup? What do you got? What do you want in the lineup?
Why can't you let We need better pitching.
Yo, Weave, wait, did I lose you, man? What's going on?
No.
What about their lineup? What are you talking about with their lineup?
Who should be leading off?
Well, they had Turner now. Turner's your leadoff hitter. You okay with that?
I truly believe Turner should be leading off.
Okay.
And then you got to get Schwarber in there, or
well, he's got Schwarber hitting too. The last couple nights, it was Turner, Schwarber.
And I'm the one that called in, and I remember I was talking to Hugh Douglas, and he was saying, "Hey, here's my
Hold
feedback."
on a second. Hold on. Wait. That's another station.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't disrespect us.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's another. That's another station.
He said,
"You don't need to do that." I don't care what he says. I care what we say.
All right. Do you think is this a spark? Is this going to get the Phillies back on track?
If they win today? No, it's just one
game.
game.
Because I'm going to put my money on them. I'm going to put my money on
was it a spark?
Phillies.
Was it a spark when they won Game 1 of this series and then they lost last night? You got to have a sustained winning streak. So if they give me a sustained winning streak, they win 4 or 5 in a row. Well, then I can read it better.
Okay, here's what I did. I looked up Chicago's record, and they actually got a better record than the Phillies.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good team. They're a good team. But see, when you play a good team, you got to get some wins. You know, anybody can beat Pittsburgh. Even though they got swept by the Pirates, against these good teams, we'll see how they do. Their schedule really perks up. So we'll get a big read on the Phillies over the next couple of weeks.
Now we're going back to what I was saying. Number one, this is what I think. You got to have good defense. You can't be making errors like that. Yeah. And the errors were not only on defense. They was on offense. Yeah, you got people trying to steal a base. Or, who was that, Castellano? Or was it...
You're trying to get to second base. That's what you're trying to... they tried to stretch a single into a double. Like I said, if there's nobody out, maybe you can take a chance. Fine. But you got to have a little bit of speed. You got to really judge your speed and whether it's worth it or not. And in that situation, it probably wasn't.
Can I say what we're all thinking?
Yeah.
Dr. Matt Elf needs some more damn respect around here.
We was out there, man.
Yeah.
We was always out there.
We've had whatever you had at that concert that you thought the guitar was playing itself.
We was always like that. I think that's his normal state.
Yes. Hence the name Weave.
Yes.
Because you never know where he's going.
By the way, tomorrow and Friday, I believe, Amy Fadul will be here.
All right.
That's right? Tomorrow and Friday?
I think so.
Amy's sitting in with us tomorrow.
Be great.
We'll have
Looking
some
forward
fun.
to.
Well, so I'm curious to know what she thinks about this baseball thing.
I can't imagine she's too pleased.
Really?
No. Considering she was getting annoyed with them earlier in the season, I can only imagine she's a little bit more annoyed.
What do you think about the people, about the baseball players who are telling us how hard of a life they have? What do you think she thinks about that?
She'd laugh at that.
She'd laugh?
I think she'd laugh at that.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening, playing the game. Our winner today was Rohan Shakes. Congratulations. He won General Knowledge Wednesday. I believe his wife was the fan. So congratulations. Have a great rest of the night, everybody. Stay tuned for Unfiltered. We're out.